but I think the development of full artificial intelligence could spell the end of the human race.
It's a flying object, and we don't know what it is. I would hope somebody is checking it out.
With a rocket or whatever, but incredibly fast, almost direction. It was too fast to be an airplane.
I'm glad the Pentagon is looking at this, because if it poses a threat, I want them on top of it.
Well, the craft generates its own gravitational field.
So you said there's lights in the sky?
The internet has become the command center for criminals and terrorists.
911, what's your emergency? I need help, please!
Won't let it happen. That's what we're instructed to say.
Roswell, Area 51. Alien kept deep under the ground.
1, 0, 1, 1,
self-serving. You're here for a reason. You're listening to Troubled Minds Radio.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's going on, guys? It is Tuesday night, which is one of the nights we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. We do it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. And what are those things we're not allowed to talk about, you may ask? Well, it's too complicated to really explain all of it, so we'll just sum up instead. How about that? We'll sum up with, we talk about aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. And tonight we've got a little bit of the reverse for you as well, because why not? Because nobody tells us what to think. Nobody tells us what to talk about. We do it our damn selves, and that's just it. I have no inside sources. I have no Galactic Federation ambassadors. A shout out to Ryan Gable of The Secret Teachings. And, well, it's just me. It's little old me, right? Except, there's a catch. There's a caveat. You get little old me, all right? If you tune in at 7 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Thursday. But I have a secret weapon. Troubled Minds has a secret weapon, and of course, that secret weapon is you. And we've always done this live for this exact reason, right? In the old school sort of vein of Art Bell, getting together and just getting callers, people that are interested in like pretty amazing topics and considering all the things that are, let's just say, out there. Out there is probably a good enough word to describe this as we get going tonight. And I'm fine with out there. Out there is whatever it's going to be, and we'll take it there and bring it back and hopefully do it again tomorrow. So basically, it's my long-winded way of saying we do this live to include you. We have an open phone line, and of course, we have a Discord if you want to be part of the show. Please call in and let me know what you think about this idea that we're going to get started in a moment. The phone number, wait, of course, before we do that, we're streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter, and we're reading the chat as we go. So I'm watching you guys. I'm watching in all the different places and trying to keep up with you and all your ideas, amazing ideas that kind of make this show go. But on top of that, we do have a phone number, and you can reach us at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037, and we'll put you on the show. It's as easy as that. Or you could click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. That's the official website. The phone number is also there. So if I read the phone number too fast, which I basically do a lot because I say it a lot, and I assume that most people know it, but new people find us every day, and people are listening all over the world. So if you don't want to, you don't have to ask in the chat. You can, and I'll read it again as we go. But you can find the phone number and the Discord link at troubledminds.org. It's the official website. And, of course, please join the, also, speaking of Discord, it's a chat client. It's a voice client. It's completely free. They haven't gone too censorship crazy just yet. But so we're there for now. But if they run us off, we'll just go somewhere else. We'll just continue to go places if they keep running us off, because our thoughts are too hot to handle, right? I think that's probably what this is all about. They don't like people thinking for themselves. They don't like people considering that their narratives may be a bunch of BS. And that's really what censorship is about. And I say hooey to that. I say, let's think on our own. Let's consider the things as they are or as they are not, and make our own mind up, not to have to consult Sean Hannity or Don Lemon to find out what the world's really about. No, thank you. I'd rather not. So basically, that's, let's see. I got that. Please also download the Discord. There's a different Discord room. I'm watching all the places. You can get on the Fringe Discord as well at fringe.fm/chat. That will give you a direct invite there. I'm watching that chat room as well as all the rest because I've got lots of windows open. And some say eyes in the back of my head, but I'm not so sure that's accurate. Anyway, all right. So what we're going to do tonight is all of those things and more because, well, we've never done this one. In all the time, nearly 4 years of Troubled Minds, we've never actually done this topic because guess why? Because I never knew how to get the audio and reverse it. But we're going to get to reverse audio tonight. The idea of, well, they say that when you speak, right? Again, we've all heard of Freudian slips, and right, you're thinking of, I don't know, something sexual, and it comes out of your mouth, even though you didn't mean to say it, right? That sort of thing, Freudian slips. But how about in this case when you have reverse speech, and as you speak in a regular cadence, regular, just regular conversation, that maybe somehow, some way, if you take that same speech in reverse, maybe you get a message coming out of it, right? I think that's maybe some weirdness here. So we're going to get to that tonight. I've got some examples. Shout out to the mighty Rohan, the famous Liam Martin. Shout out to Jennifer for inspiring this show. Both of them the last couple days, again, on Discord, in the chat. Just Jennifer brought up the reverse speech guy yesterday, and Rohan and I were talking a little bit about it today, and I'm like, I don't know how to do the audio stuff. And he started cranking out some examples, and I'm like, oh, let's figure out how to do this. So I figured out how to do it, and now we've created a monster, and now I can do reverse speech anytime I want. And if you guys are interested in this idea and the fact that there's sort of this maybe subliminal messaging in reverse speech somehow or some way, I can start doing this to the UFO community, right? The people that say, the UFOs, I saw them, I see them every night, right? Not that I'm saying that people don't see UFOs every night, but I am saying that every night seems a little suspicious. So I'm just saying, let's maybe take some of those guys in the future and play them back and find out what the reverse speech reveals, if anything at all. I don't even know if I believe it, because I did some examples and you'll see. But anyway, so that's what's on my mind tonight as we get going. One more time, 702-957-1037. So as we go, I'm going to get into the narrative here as we begin with this idea of the universe in reverse, which we've talked about in the past, by the way, that scientists have found this, that, the other thing. But the question tonight as we begin is exactly this. If somehow, some way, in the regular course of conversation, if you were to record that audio and then play it backwards, are there actual subliminal messages that you can also derive as something, right? Not just gibberish, nothing, actual something, All right. That's what's on my mind tonight. And what do you think? Do you think that's possible? Do you think that our brain works in such an amazing way that not only, again, not everything clearly, because you couldn't like have everything forward and everything backward exactly, right? Linear, non-linear, all the rest of this. You can't do that. But are there points in the conversation or in the statements that pop out that are basically maybe mirror images of what they did say in straight from linear speak, right? From a regular time going from me speaking to the end of the speech? Or is there, is this what's known as audio pareidolia? So that's the question tonight. Love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you believe regarding this? Have you heard of this idea? I've got some examples because I was recording my own voice and playing it back to see. We'll see. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Let's start here, though. Let's begin here, because why not? This is from the New York Post, and this is what got me thinking in terms of this idea tonight. Jennifer kind of tipped it off. Rohan helped me out with some of the audio, and I was like, well, this fits perfectly, doesn't it? Because, of course, the New York Post reported this March 21st. Study claims an anti-universe where time is backwards and it may exist next to ours. Here we go. An anti-universe where time runs backwards could exist next to ours, according to a new study. The theory involves the fact nature has fundamental symmetries, and researchers think this could apply to the universe as a whole. The theory has been explained in the journal Annals of Physics. It discusses a common physics concept called charge parity time symmetry. CPT symmetry. So CPT symmetry is recognized as one of the laws of physics and means things like charge and time can be inverted after a transformative process. Scientists think the Big Bang, which created the universe, was definitely transformative, and therefore the CPT theory could apply. The researchers think that there was a backwards universe before the Big Bang that was then inverted to create the universe we live in today. They explained, quote, "We investigate the idea that the universe before the Big Bang is the CPT reflection of the universe after the Bang, both classically and quantum mechanically." And added, continue, quote, "The universe before the Bang, see what I did there? The Bang, and the universe after the Bang may be viewed as a universe/anti-universe pair, emerging directly into the hot, radiation-dominated era we observe in our past." Oh, that is hot. That is so hot. And this in turn leads to a remarkably economical explanation of the cosmological dark matter. Now, we've seen this before. We've talked about this in the past with some of these same ideas where scientists have done their thing, right? They kind of trying to explain the universe we live in with some of these mathematical theories and whatnot. And I think it's great. I think it's one of those things where, the science and speculation and the mathematics and, this is all good. This is basically where troubled minds lives, right? But I think it got me thinking in terms of, okay, so not just the universe, what about speech? And what about this idea of the reverse speech? And so I got some examples. Let's just get right to some examples. Again, so that's the question tonight. What do you think about, so a couple ideas, right? So first, if we have this universe in reverse and you speak normally like we speak here, do they hear it as gibberish like we would hear reverse speech as gibberish? And if they do, like we hear, vice versa the other way, depending on which way time runs here, if this is the case, is it possible to pick out from reverse speech actual notions of what people are trying to say, right? Or back to that Freudian slip stuff, if they're lying, is some of the actual sentiment or intention coming through this speech itself? That's what I want to know. So what did I do? I started recording my voice and playing it backwards. All right. So let's do some of this because this is fun. We're going to have a fun time tonight. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think there is some sort of embedded speech? We're going to get to this. And I wanted to say Daryl John Hall & Oates. That's not the guy. The guy's name is, what's his name? His name is, I can't remember. Sorry about that. I can't, I'll get the guy's name in a minute. Here we go. David John Oates. See what I wanted to do what's that? Hall & Oates. No. David John Oates is the guy's name, who actually has sort of pioneered this idea of reverse speech, okay? And here's one example. I want to make sure this actually plays out through because I don't have this clip set up. But this is on Wikipedia, and this is an example, okay? And this is the one small step for man, all right? Let's see if this actually plays through just to make sure. Here we go. It's super short. It's like 5 seconds. But listen to what this actually says.
Small step for man, baseball.
Okay, I'm going to play that again. So, a small step for man, but what does it say in reverse? Okay, I'm going to play this one more time. Looks like it is coming through. So, I'm going to play it again. This is right on the Wikipedia page, so you can find this exactly there. And this is the reverse speech. And this is, again, what does this mean? What are they actually saying here?
Small step for man, baseball.
Okay, now the cadence is weird. Now think about what you've heard, all right? And I'll tell you what they think is happening here, all right? What is this idea of David John Oates, okay? So again, this is Neil Armstrong saying a one small step for man. And when you play it in reverse, what he's saying is the reverse is actually man will spacewalk. All right, so listen to this one more time and see if you hear that. And I what I don't want to do is sort of what would you call it? Tell you what you should hear and then play it for you first. I don't want to do that. I want to see if you can hear it before we play it. And this is the whole idea of this audio pareidolia, okay, as we get going tonight. So one more time. So now listen to it again and see if you hear it, okay? A small step for man, but what they're actually saying in reverse is man will spacewalk. And it's in a weird cadence. So this is why I didn't get it the first time I listened to it too. But check this out.
Small step for man, baseball.
Man will spacewalk. It's very sort of musical, right? So I don't know. I don't know if that's the thing. One more time I'm going to play it so you can hear it, and then we'll keep on trucking because I got a whole bunch of examples tonight. I did some stuff with Joe Biden reversing his speech recently. I did some stuff with myself, some audio clips of some old shows that I did. Rohan helped with that. We got all kinds of stuff, and myself recording myself tonight before the show, just with some short little statements to see how this actually worked. So here we go. One more time. Small step for man, or man will spacewalk. Here we go.
Small step for man, baseball.
Man will spacewalk. Maybe not. I don't know. And so that's the thing, right? So what is it that you believe? Is there something to this, or do you think this is just us hearing gibberish? Audio pareidolia, as it's called. So that's what we're doing tonight. What are your thoughts on this as we roll? And I've got tons and tons of examples. We can play that again if you like, or play some other examples. For instance, let's play this. Ronald says, it sounds like he said, forever baseball. What's up, guys? Robert says, it was a Robert over on Rockfin says, in the universe, or in the reverse universe, folks walk backwards so their eyes are on the back of their heads. And maybe let's call it a solid maybe. All right, so here you go. So I started messing around with this now that I figured out how to do it, and like I said, we have created a monster, and you can blame the mighty Rohan for this, but I figured out how to do this. Now listen to this. All right, this was just me kind of messing around, and listen to this. This is me just speaking and then playing my exact little blurb in reverse. So I started with this tonight because why not? Because this sounded kind of funny, and I wanted to see if my disgust came out in reverse. The UFO community can be extremely toxic to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. Okay, there you go. So I was just doing little sentences like that of myself just speaking into the microphone just like you hear me now. But let's hear what that exact thing sounds like in reverse and see if you could pick out anything that maybe I'm giving away here. And at first I didn't think this would work, but the more I started listening, not in this particular instance, I'm asking for your help here, but the more I started sort of doing this, the more I started to think, maybe there's something to this. So here's that statement exactly in reverse. That's the way that I'm meeting with this math must throw it now, but it's cost deal mirrors even if you don't make UFO using. So not only did I realize that for me to speak a nice mix of German, Russian, and Dutch, maybe. That's the easiest way. Just record myself and then play it backwards, and suddenly I speak another language. It's incredible. But did you hear anything weird in there? I didn't in this one, just to let you know. Spoiler alert, I didn't hear anything bizarre here, just in this. But we're just getting going. Got tons of examples and tons of stuff to get to tonight. But again, back to the original question. This is what's on my mind. Regarding this idea of backwards speech, we've all heard, the satanic panic. Remember the whole thing with, if you play like the death metal backwards, it's like, hail Satan, hail Satan, right? Something like that. And again, I'm not a Satan worshiper. Everybody relax. I'm making fun of, right, the satanic panic of the 80s. Remember, you used to say that if you would take death metal music or different things and play them backwards, you would get these bizarre sort of satanic messages. Or not just rock, it was rap, it was other things, right? There are all kinds of different music they were saying you could do this to. Well, I don't know exactly what I believe, but I'm going to play this again so that's the question tonight. I'll play a couple of these again. I've got tons of examples to play. But what do you believe regarding this? Do you think there is some sort of something you could divine from recording something forward, playing it backward, and then somehow, some way, hear something in it? So here we go. Going to play this one more time so you hear exactly what's going on. This is the same thing I recorded just before the show tonight. The UFO community can be extremely toxic to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. Okay, and now that exact same thing, backward. That's the way then I'm meeting with as math must throw no, but it's cost deal mirrors save me getting me UFO. Yeah. I have no idea. So did you hear anything in there? I didn't. Okay. And so that's why I kind of wanted to do some short examples and go, okay, if this exists, you should be able to pick out some of these things. But the more I started doing it, the more I realized, and I think there's something to this, my opinion now that I spent a couple, 3 hours before the show tonight, putting these things together and just listening back and seeing if I could pick out words. And so the question becomes, is it audio pareidolia? Are we making this up in our head if we hear something crazy in reverse, picking out words that may or may not exist? Number one. Number two, do you think instead of that, there is an actual way that our brain is working on a subconscious level that will somehow, some way be able to translate when you do play it in reverse? Sort of that Freudian slip, except I guess we're calling it let's call it reverse speech, the David John Oates slip. The Oatesian slip, I guess, is we'll coin a new term because I make things up all the time. Why not? I make up words all the time. So the Oatesian slip. So what do you think? That's what's on my mind tonight, and we're gonna have fun with some of these clips. Did you hear anything in the original little blurb there? And what's going on, guys? Ronald says, a friend and myself listened to the Ozzy Osbourne song Flying High Again backwards, and it said, smoke wacky weed, right? Exactly. What's up, Thomas? I see you there on Rockfin. And I'll come say hi in a sec. So what do you think? What is with this? Do you think there's something to this, or do you think I'm just driving myself more mad? And, well, you tell me. So one more time with this example. I got tons of examples, but listen closely. Do you hear anything that might give away my intention here, other than my original intention that's like, the UFO community sometimes? Because if you've been watching, by the way, there's a ton of drama, again, still always in the UFO community. So one more time, I'm going to play these super short clips. Keep on trucking. And what are your thoughts? I'd love to hear them tonight. Here we go. The UFO community can be extremely toxic to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. Okay, so that's me, just speaking regular style. Here's that exact statement backward. That's the way then I'm meeting with as math must throw no, but it's cost deal mirrors save me getting me UFO. Okay, besides sounding crazy, did you hear anything in there that might be or might not be something? I don't know. I didn't hear anything, but again, that's just getting going. That was just me getting going tonight. So there you go. I think that kind of puts us where we need to be for this discussion. Have you heard the term audio pareidolia? And what about this idea of reverse speech? Do you think there's something to it? Or do you think this is all just a bunch of BS? And that, of course, is what's on my mind tonight. As we get going, I'd love to hear your thoughts. This idea of backward speech, something or nothing, or somewhere in between. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. This is Troubled Minds. I'm Michael Strange. Don't go anywhere. More, the universe in reverse, audio pareidolia, and reverse speech when we return. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter, and we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And tonight, we're taking your phone calls as we discuss this idea of backwards speech. You guys remember the Satanic Panic of the 80s? Are you old enough to remember that? When they used to say you could play songs backward and get satanic messages. Now, I'm not sure about all that, but I did put this to the test tonight because, well, I learned how to do it. And as a result, again, shout out to Rohan, sending me some instances and saying, look, man, it's easy. And sure enough, it's easy. So what are your thoughts tonight? Taking your phone calls. I've got some other examples to play of some pretty wild stuff. As somebody said, censorship in the chat during the break. But we'll play another clip on censorship in a sec and a reversal of, again, my own speech. But as we go through this tonight, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Exactly what's going on here? Do you think there's something to this in that if you speak long enough that this reverse speech will reveal something about the actual speech? Meaning, if you're lying, would the reverse speech actually reveal what you really meant to say? Or in the case of back to the Wikipedia here, where it said one small step for man, and what did they say that the reverse speech was? It was man will spacewalk. All right, so I'm going to play that one more time, and then we'll get to more of this. But I want to hear your thoughts. Is this, again, audio pareidolia? How come it comes out in a weird cadence? What's going on with this? And again, 702-957-1037. Here you go.
Small step for man, man will spacewalk.
Man will spacewalk. So odd and musical. But okay, so there we go. So this is from Wikipedia, all right? Reverse speech is a pseudo-scientific topic. Of course they would say that. First advocated by David John Oates, which gained popularity when it was mentioned on Art Bell's nightly coast-to-coast AM radio talk show. It is based upon the theory that during spoken language production, human speakers subconsciously produce hidden messages that give insights into their innermost thoughts. Oates claims that it therefore has applications in psychotherapy, criminology, and business negotiation. The theory has been rejected by mainstream science and academia. Shocked? I'm not. I'm not shocked that they would actually kick this back. But there we go. Twin Peaks officially leaves Netflix. Is that true? Okay. All right. Anyway. All right. Back to reverse speech. So I don't know. Again, here's another couple examples. So what do you guys think? Again, here we go. Here's the actual claim and how this gets a little bit more kind of wacky as it goes. Oates, again, David John Oates, the claim is that on average, once every 15 to 20 seconds of casual conversation, a person produces two related sentences, a forward spoken message that is heard consciously and a backwards message unconsciously embedded in the person's speech. These two modes of speech, forward and backward, are supposedly dependent upon each other and form an integral part of human communication. In the dynamics of interpersonal communication, both modes of speech combine to communicate the total psyche of the person, conscious as well as unconscious. Oates claims that backward speech is always honest and reveals the truth about the speaker's intentions and motivations. The most famous recording that allegedly demonstrates that is the speech given by Neil Armstrong at the time of the first lunar landing on July 20th, 1969, which we played a few times now. If played backwards, the words small step for man sound somewhat like man will spacewalk. All right. So an alternative explanation for this is pareidolia, the tendency tendency of the human brain to perceive meaningful patterns in random noise. Pareidolia is even more likely to occur when a person consciously tries to detect a pattern, as is the case for someone listening for intelligible phrases in backwards speech. Now, the power of suggestion is then used to nudge the listener to hear what the presenter wants him to hear. David John Oates, for example, almost always tells the listener in advance what he should expect to hear, thereby planting a suggestion that would make the listener more actually likely to hear that phrase, which is why I don't want to do that. I want to do the opposite. And I've got some things here that may seem compelling, all right? But I'm not going to tell you what I heard or if I didn't hear something, except in that first case, just as a first example. But I want to play it for you and see what you hear and not tell you what you should hear. You see, there's a very big difference here. And it might all be nothing, a whole lot of nothing. But we're going to find out. What are your thoughts here? Do you think there's something to this? 702-957-1037. Let's get to some more examples. I will twist your brains with backward speech until you guys call. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's go to what's up? Propaganda. Let's see. We had a propaganda. How about this? This is another one I recorded tonight before we began. Or was this? I can't remember. Let's see. This might be from an old show. One sec. Let's play it and find out. I got them all labeled weird. One sec. Now, the propaganda going around really, really pisses me off just because they're trying to brainwash us. They're trying to make us believe things that mostly are not even true. Okay, so I recorded that tonight before the show, all right? That's just a pretty basic statement. That's one of the fundamental ideas of troubled minds is that exact statement, okay? And I was even a little agitated, got myself a little worked up to say it, right? Well, what does that sound like in reverse? Well, let's play it and find out. Listen closely, and I'll play it a few times so you guys can maybe or maybe not hear something here. But you heard forward, let's hear backward. Times okay, aside from an alien language, did you hear me say anything in particular? Let's try it one more time, and then we got a phone call. We'll take this call. I see you there. And here we go. One more time. Backward. Times okay, definitely sounds like an alien language to me, okay? But is there something to this idea? 702-957-1037. Let's go to Jennifer in Missouri. Welcome to Troubled Minds, my friend. How are you tonight?
I'm good.
Right on.
I'm really glad you're doing this. This is cool.
Thank you. This is partially your fault for mentioning it yesterday, but
I just mentioned it in passing.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Right.
And you see how things go. You see how things go.
It's very cool that you do have the equipment, and to take the sound bites and everything. It'd be really neat. I mean, the way that it kind of works, and like you kind of mentioned too, is that you take a long stream. Because it only pops up like every 6 or 10 seconds is what they say. And it's like, it can't be helped. Like people can't help it. It's some kind of involuntary thing is the theory that it's subconscious and you can't hide sort of thing. So I think it's amazing the implications of it, that you could, technically the truth of everything, like whatever people might be actually thinking will come out. So it's almost like everybody's in their underwear, like, if you listen back to any of the shows, even, and take sound bites and reverse them, and you slowed it, I think you have to slow it down, because it's people speak pretty quickly. So I don't know, or it could be perfectly clear in some instances, but it'd be fascinating to hear a longer stream, if you're doing it, if people were doing it on their own, because you have to be not trying almost. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. But like a person kind of just like I'm doing right now, if like I'm not really paying attention to what I'm saying, I'm just saying stuff. So you take a scenario like that, and every 6 or 10 seconds of my speech forward in reverse, it could creep up ever so often like that as with my subconscious coming through. If there's a dual mind, because a lot of people speak out against the idea that there even is a subconscious, but I think that there's been a lot of proof in like in hypnosis and even cases of dyslexia, that the subconscious mind, that's not at work in that case. But I mean, a lot of cases that the subconscious mind can easily do any of that, reverse its speech. People can speak separate languages. There's all kinds of talk about people having accidents and having that suddenly waking up with the ability to speak a different language they didn't know they had. So there could be something to it. I like it. I like the idea of it, that it could be something. It seems like, because it's always fun to see if you're getting an inside view of things. It feels kind of sneaky, but I think it's really cool. I didn't hear anything
do you think
the last one or the first one necessarily, but go ahead.
Yeah. So do you think there is something to it? And by the way, just real quick before you answer that, I did do exactly what you're saying. So I started with these little short statements to kind of do it, semi-scientifically, to be like, okay, could I get a short statement and reverse it and maybe hear something in it? And I wasn't hearing anything. So what did Rohan start doing? What did I start doing? And went back to some of the other shows when in particular I was fired up and I was like talking, and I went back to that one recently where I was talking about Instagram and right, kind of that scrying the social media mirror and this sort of thing, where I was fired up for most of that show, and I recorded clips of that and then played those backwards. So I do have longer clips to see if there's something there. So exactly like you're saying, I did do it, but I just started with small examples, which we're starting with tonight. But absolutely, I've got more of it coming, and you may or may not be surprised. So did you hear anything in the first couple examples, and do you think this is real?
I feel like it's almost like if you've ever done EVP, like if anybody's done that, where you kind of, you're listening, you have the headphones on, you're slowing it down, you're looking for blurbs in the lines, you're going back, you're looking, you're searching for it, And as far as that, seeing patterns where they're not, I think that doesn't even, I don't think it matters as much as people would think, because even those patterns that people see, it's a form of communication, I think, of the subconscious mind, even there. Like, we have, with the subconscious mind, you're perceiving, it's clairvoyance, it's clairaudient, that kind of thing. It knows things that it couldn't possibly know. Like, it's almost like it knows what's behind a closed door, in another room, in another country, in the instance of remote viewing. That's the subconscious mind that somehow is tapping into everything and isn't contained in any way. It's the thing that's dreaming at night. It's the part of you that's doing all that stuff. And so it can go anywhere and see anything, we don't even know the limits of it. So I would suspect that, I think there is something to it. And I don't know, I think you have to, almost like with EVP, as an example, like you'd have to kind of be really paying attention. Like I'd probably take that clip you're talking about if I were trying to, analyze it that way and listen to it repeatedly. Not looking for, yes, absolutely looking for what I think I'm hearing. And I could be, but who knows if I'm imposing my own thoughts on that? I don't know. So that could be a scenario. But even if I am imposing my own thoughts, it could be that I'm subconsciously picking up on what you're trying to say. Or, in the case of like politicians and things like that, sometimes they are seeming to be honest, but it could also be that they are, maybe if I hear something untruthful, in the in the reverse speech clip, it may be because I have a reason to distrust them, and so I think that way. So I think it could lend clues in all kinds of, in different ways, but I think there is definitely something to it because I believe in the subconscious mind, and I believe in hypnosis, and I've seen stuff that makes me think that it's true.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up as well. So we do have a Joe Biden clip, which we'll get to. That's going to be the finale tonight. We're going to get to Joe Biden. And this clip, he talked about the New World Order. And it was going to kind of go around on social media the last couple of days. And it seems a sinister thing to say forward. But when you play it backward and look at some of the things, and we did do that, Rohan and I slowed them down a smidge. Uh-oh. This is where I was like, no, come on. I was like, there's nothing here. Come on, this is BS. And then we did that, and I was like, dude, did you hear that? And I sent him the clip, and he's like, no, wait. And so we kind of that back and forth. We didn't want to say what we heard to listen for it, right? I want to do it the other way and say, do you hear anything? Play it a couple times, and then tell you what I heard, and then we can fact check. But yeah, pretty wild stuff. So I do have longer clips of myself and Joe Biden and all the rest of that. So amazing stuff as always. What else you got for us tonight, my friend?
Oh, I think too, there might be variances of like, depending on what the person's talking about, or kind of like, you said you were recording when you were really fired up about something. I think moments like that, or when the person's really under pressure, or who knows? I mean, there might be different triggers to like when it will creep up, if there's an incongruency or a very fervent congruency. Maybe it's something like that, but it'd be interesting to look into. I never have gotten this stuff, but I'm glad you have it, and I hope you find all kinds of stuff and do more with it.
Like I said,
they have courses on this stuff too.
Do they? I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah, where
pretty
they
wild.
study, I guess, to try to figure out, to have the ear for it or something. Kind of like people who listen to like thousands of EVPs, and like when they listen to, they just become like with a trained ear type of thing or something. But it's really cool. I want to listen to the other stuff and see what you found.
Perfect. This is partially your fault.
All right.
Jennifer here has a YouTube channel. Check it out. Links in the description. She does amazing stuff, as you can tell from all her amazing phone calls. Thanks for listening, my friend. Thanks for calling. You're the best. Talk to you soon.
Thank you, Mike. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you very much. There you go. What are your thoughts on this, guys? 702-957-1037. What about audio pareidolia? What about reverse speech? What about the devil's in the details? Or the devil's in reverse speech? You tell me. Let's go to, so we're still doing this tonight. I got examples we're going to play. I will play your ear off if you guys are interested in this whole reverse speech stuff, because I've got a ton of examples, and we'll keep doing that. And like I said, we do have a finale with Joe Biden, and we broke down some of the stuff, and it sounds like there may be something to this. Again, maybe I'm fooling myself. Maybe I'm not. But what are your thoughts? One more time, 702-957-1037. Let's go to James in Michigan. What's up, my friend? Welcome to Troubled Minds. How are you?
I'm okay. Great topic. Very interesting.
Thank you. I'm sure you've heard of this before. What is your take so far on, and by the way, we're going to go to a break here in about 6 or 7 minutes or so. So we got plenty of time for you, but if you want to stay over, you're more than welcome. Okay, just to let you know. But what are your thoughts here as we start?
Yeah, well, the first thing is I do think, like Jennifer said, I can see how it may take a lot of practice and time, just like she said with EVPs and all that, to get to a point where you can pick out a lot from this kind of reverse speech. Because the thing that amazes me is you hear sounds in the recording of, like in that first recording of the One Small Step for Man, there are no hard C or K sounds in that statement. So how do they appear? And I'm not saying that they don't to people necessarily. I'm not putting any of this down because I think it's very interesting. But it's just, how does that happen?
You tell me. How does it happen? I don't know. I'm as confused as you are here. Like I said, I've been spending a couple 3 hours just monkeying around with this, but I just started. So I'm going to start doing all kinds of things, right? People that we think may be fibbing, and see if there's a pattern here. Like the guy again, what's his name? The Oates. David John Oates is the guy's name. He says there's patterns, and you can find these things, and politicians regularly do them because they're lying, straight up lying. And so you cannot hide, sort of like Jennifer was saying, it's built into your psyche. And if you are lying or trying to be deceptive, it does show up in these things. And I've only got a small sample size for my opinion right now, because I just started doing this. But now that I figured out how to do it, like I said, we've created a monster tonight, and I'm going to start doing this from time to time, and we'll start having shows like this where we maybe look into these things. So I don't know. How does it happen? Do you think it's even possible? I guess that's the question here.
Well, it makes me wonder if, when we're choosing our words, if that subconscious is maybe influencing us to say certain words, that then when you play them in reverse, they make other words, and they give off that tone of, whether or not you're lying. I wonder if it's almost like the subconscious basically telling on ourselves or on the people that are recorded.
Yeah, exactly, right. And so it's weird that if, like you said, you have to choose your speech just perfectly for this to work. So it means that your brain has got to be going like 1,000 miles an hour faster than you even perceive it to be for this to be a real thing, right? It would have to be.
Yeah, and I do think it's, finding these things, it is a matter of practice because as you know, and other people know here in the chat, I have fairly sensitive ears because I have low vision, but a lot of these clips I barely ever pick anything out. I did kind of hear the description of the first one as far as, like, it kind of makes sense. In your first clip, I did hear UFO in the backwards portion of it. And I saw someone else there in chat did as well. So there are things that show up probably maybe more easier than others, but I do think it's a matter of practice. There's that word again. So,
time and pressure. James, how do you get to Carnegie Hall?
It's practice.
Practice. Totally. Okay, so maybe. A good solid maybe. I got another couple that I can play here. Let's see. We got like 2-3 minutes. You want to hang over to after the break, or what else you got for us, my friend?
I can hang over. I'll just keep listening, and you know what, though? It'd be hard to hear it over the Discord, because it doesn't always come through in the Discord. But I'll just get going. But it's a very interesting topic. Thank you for having me, and great call already from Jennifer.
And great call from you. I appreciate it, my friend. James here has a podcast called Salcedo Paranormal. Check it out. Links in the description. He goes 5 nights a week and talks about paranormal stuff. And he's branching out and doing book reviews and all kinds of crazy stuff now. So do check that out if you have not. Appreciate it, James. You're welcome to pop back in anytime, okay? You know where to find me.
Yep, thank you. Have a good night.
Appreciate it, bro. You too. All right, so let's play just a couple more. Squeeze these in real quick, and here's just another example, all right? This is me forward and then me backward. So these are some quick examples because I wanted to make sure, semi-scientifically, let's do it in short bursts, and then we'll do it in longer bursts from a previous show where I wasn't even thinking about reverse speech at all. But here you go. Here's a fun one. I'll be drinking the maybe juice. Will you be drinking the maybe juice? And again, just recorded these real quick before we started. Let's hear that in reverse before we take a quick break here. Okay, one more time. We call it drinking the maybe juice on Troubled Minds. Listen to this. One more time. Do you hear anything forward and backward? Notice I'm not telling you what you should or should not hear. I'm asking, what do you hear? Here we go. One more time. In forward and then reverse. I'll be drinking the maybe juice. Will you be drinking the maybe juice? And reverse. It sounds like an alien language, that's for damn sure. But are there any actual messages? So before I really realized what was going on, I think you do need longer forms of speech. And is that part of the pareidolia, or is that part of the subconscious needing a further amount of time to maybe put together some sort of reverse angle speech sort of thing on this? So what are your thoughts? Definitely heard UFO. Okay, so you tell me. I don't know. I don't have I've got an idea here, because as I started doing this more and more, I've already kind of told you I think that there may be something here, but that doesn't mean definitely there's something here. And as always, it doesn't matter, because it's not up to me, it's up to you. Do you think this is real? We're talking about the idea of audio pareidolia and reverse speech. Something to this? You think it's good? You think it's bad? You think it's somewhere in between? I have no idea, other than, a small, short sample size. And so as we get into this and do more of this, maybe you'll hear nothing now and change your mind an hour from now. Or maybe it's several weeks down the road, we do another show like this. Maybe we start to pick out patterns. And is there something here? Looking to hear your thoughts. Have you ever heard of this reverse speech stuff? What about audio pareidolia? Do you think this is much ado about nothing? Or do you think our subconscious mind is way ahead of our conscious mind? That's what's on my mind tonight. Love to hear your thoughts at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link at troubledminds.org. We'll put you on the show. I don't know. I have no idea what to think, other than let's hear some more and find out what's really going on. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds on the way. And what do we got? The universe in reverse, audio pareidolia, and reverse speech. And your phone calls when we return. Don't go anywhere. More Troubled Minds on the way. Be right back. we are talking about the alien abduction phenomenon.
The aliens are looking through your eyes and they're accessing your optic nerve. I'm doing that. And through that optic nerve, they're transferring to your brain. People are random images as they traverse neurons in the brain.
All right, so maybe,
and they also feel them planting or receiving memories or ideas or images.
Broadcasting live from a secret bunker just off the extraterrestrial highway. Somewhere in the desert sands outside of Las Vegas. From somewhere in space-time, loosely labeled Generation X on planet Earth. And asking questions of you in earnest into the digital darkness.
Good evening and welcome to Troubled Minds Radio. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and hello to all of you who may also have troubled minds. What's going on, guys? It is Tuesday night, which is one of the nights we get together and talk about all the things we're not allowed to talk about. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific. What are those things, you may wonder? I have to sum up because there's too many. Aliens, conspiracy, the paranormal, the government, academia, the 24-hour news cycle, propaganda, and the general feeling that we live in the upside down. Well, we got a doozy for you tonight as we talk about reverse speech. This idea that the subconscious is so far ahead of ourselves that not only are we speaking forward, but also if you record it and play it backward, there's some level of truth built in and maybe double messages, meaning if you're telling the truth, you'll get some messages forward that are exactly like you're trying to say. And if you play it also backward, somehow, some way, they will sort of match. And of course, it's not so simple as short clips, because I tried that, and we're playing some of those clips tonight. Sometimes it is, but also sometimes it is not. And as you see, as we play some of these clips backward, you start to see that it sounds like I speak Dutch, German, Polish, and Russian all combined. Which I do not. It's just me speaking in reverse. So we played some short clips to start tonight of myself. I recorded them before we began tonight, sort of in that short burst of, let's play these couple, cheeky clips and see if we get anything played backwards. And it doesn't seem like there's anything to it just yet. But we have some longer clips, and of course, we're going to get to Joe Biden and a clip of him speaking. And maybe, just maybe, we'll get to a known liar and listen to that in reverse. So tonight, that's what we're talking about. That's what's on my mind. And as we begin, I'd love to hear your thoughts, because this is a two-way conversation. If you're out there listening to me, I'm definitely speaking to you. And what do you think about this idea of reverse speech? Is it real? Is it not? Love to hear your thoughts at 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. You can click the Discord link at troubleminds.org. We'll put you on the show. Also, we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, D Live, and Twitter, and we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. And let's do it. So that's we got some clips to play. I'm going to keep doing that. But again, I'd rather hear your thoughts. The question tonight is this: what do you know about audio pareidolia and reverse speech? Do you think there's something to this? Is our subconscious so far ahead of ourselves that we are actually maybe giving ourselves away even when we're fibbing? 702-957-1037. Let's go to MJ in Virginia. Welcome to Troubled Minds, my friend. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Michael, hi.
Good evening.
I want to repeat something. Can you hear me really well?
Yeah, perfectly. Go right ahead.
Okay. I want to repeat. I want to say something to you that it's backwards, and nobody in the chat room can spell it out if they figure it out. But I just wanted to repeat it backwards and see if you can get it. But it's Nam no Emak.
Nam no Ema. Nope.
Mach.
Wait, what?
It's Nam no Emak.
Oh,
Nam
Mach.
no Emak.
Okay, with a K, a C, hard C, K. I don't know. I don't know. My brain doesn't work. Hey, MJ, you know me. I have a hard enough time going forward. If you start going backward on me, man, I'm gonna. Don't give me an aneurysm, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. don't do it.
Come on, man.
Come on. Oh, is that what it is? Come on, man. All right. Okay, fair enough. Come on, man. All right. So what do you think then? Do you think there is something to this, or do you think it's a bunch of BS? This reverse speech bit.
I don't know. If you're gonna go through the calls later on and actually do some of this,
if with your permission, yes, and we will do another show on this in the future.
Oh yeah,
yeah. With your permission, absolutely. And again, so just so you know,
somebody. My permission.
Okay, just so you know, somebody in the chat asked during the break if we could do this to the phone calls. MJ did, actually. And so I said, sure, absolutely, we could do that. And somebody else said, well, I'm never calling then because of this. No, I would never do it without your permission. If you want me to do it and kind of break down your calls, I'd love to. But I would not do it without your permission, just to let you know. I absolutely would not. That's not how you make friends. I wouldn't do that, just so you know. But okay, so we will do that in a future show, maybe this weekend. We'll be able to break down some of the calls and some of the stuff I've said on some of these shows, right? There's some maybe tense moments that I could go and where I was talking to a particular caller, for instance, and we can maybe break down what I really wanted to say. Who knows? But your thoughts on wouldn't that be funny if it came out the right way? I'm like, that's exactly what I was thinking. But okay, so are you leaning more toward reverse speech being real, or more of the audio pareidolia bit, in that we're trying to put together patterns from just random sounds?
No, I think some of it does come out that way. You can hear certain words in there, but it could be if it's phonetically close enough together, frontwards or backwards, you can possibly hear it. So I think there's a possibility of it, because when you hear somebody say something, because it's like you said, it sounded like it was Russian, French, all these different languages in there. And I thought it was interesting because if you listen to a particular language, when you hear it, even Swahili, if you played Swahili or Russian backwards, would you hear English? Because some of the words you listen to in other languages, basically, if you tried to play them backwards, I'm just wondering if they would come out to you would hear some English words in them.
That's a good question. That's a very good question, because it does sound like I'm speaking some other like alien language, doesn't it, when you play backwards?
Yeah, or you're just really drunk and you're
which is super funny you say that.
Anyway, I want to say something real.
Yeah, go ahead.
What?
Yeah, go ahead. I
want to say something.
Do it.
And you can take this and go back and research it. Or anything I say, I don't care. I'd be interested in this. But one night, I went into meditation and I asked the aliens, whoever you want to say they are, that I wanted physical proof of an abduction. Okay? So the next morning I woke up, and we've talked about this before. The next morning I woke up and I had burns on the back of my right arm that weren't there when I went to bed. So that's what I want to analyze that and see what happens with it, because I'm just totally interested in this.
Okay, sure. We can add that to the future list of shows to look into, more of the abduction experience stuff, and if there's something there, definitely good. I'll add that to the list, and you're welcome to, of course, be on the show as part of that, 100%.
Oh, and also the third hour, people talk. Record that. See if the F-bombs and all the cuss words, see if they come out with something else too. I think that'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. Like I said, with permission, don't worry, I would never do that to you guys. I'm not trying to expose anybody. I don't think anybody here is trying to deceive me anyway, or deceive each other. I think this is more of just let's get together and talk, you know? There's no agenda here other than, is this stuff real or is it not? I mean, that's pretty agendaless other than the things that I choose, you know, to talk about. So it's pretty basic. We're never contentious here. But what I was going to say, the funny thing about Joe Biden and the clip we're going to play we're going to play at the bottom of the hour and kind of get us into the politicians sort of lying or having this weird speech, right? But the joke I was going to make, and it's completely almost true here, is that it's hard enough to understand him speaking regularly because he's like, right? Which is grotesquely unfortunate. Again, I'm not making fun of cognitive impairments or anything like that. I think he's probably shouldn't be fit for office, right? For a lot of reasons. But that in particular, like if he can barely like mumble out a sentence forward, imagine what it sounds like backward. And I've got some of that, and we'll get to that tonight. So you're going to give this a good solid maybe as far as reverse speech?
Yeah, I would. And also else, in meditation or when you're out in a dream, are you getting stuff backwards? So in the morning when you wake up, you're seeing it forwards.
Yeah, it could be. It could be.
Is that information coming to bits and pieces? So when you go back to analyze it or look, think about it, it's coming in. It comes in forward to you.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? And I think that's part of this, why we kind of started it with this idea of the reverse universe, because what's actually going on with that, and what does that mean? I kind of took it down the reverse speech thing, but what about dreams? I like that idea. Somebody said, what about reverse psychology in reverse? What does that mean? I have no idea. Yeah, definitely, MJ. It's talk about living in the upside down, and also now the reverse. I don't even know which way's up anymore. So the best part is we'll do that. We'll do that show coming up soon, where we do take some of your calls with permission to play them backwards. And clearly, you're welcome to be on there and talk about it, because I'll chop up one of your calls and we'll talk about it. How about that?
Okay, great.
Right on. I appreciate the phone call. You're the best, MJ. Always a pleasure. Have a fantastic night. Thanks for listening, bro.
All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. There you go. What are your thoughts on this? 702-957-1037. That's MJ in Virginia. Good friend of mine and good friend of the shows. Lots of good people are part of this, and that's why we do this in the live format. Again, imperfections and all. All right, so we're talking about the universe in reverse, audio pareidolia and reverse speech. What does this mean? Is this real? Well, let's find out. I've got some more clips. Let's go to some other stuff. What did I also say? Brainwash. How about fear? Here was me. Now, this is a little bit longer of a clip, right? Where I wasn't just kind of goofing around doing some early stuff. Let's play this real quick. Just the UFO one. Before we started tonight, I was recording myself in little instances to sort of maybe semi-scientifically do this and see if you could maybe hear something in reverse from a small statement like this. The UFO community can be extremely toxic to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. There you go. That's me speaking, and that's a true statement, and I really believe that. Here we go. Here's what it sounds like backward. That's the way that I'm meeting with his mouth must throw it now, but it's cost deal mirrors, even if you don't UFO. UFO, yeah. All right. See, there you go. So that's where we began tonight. And I think Jennifer was right. You got to slow some of this down, listen a few times, and maybe you can start to hear this, right? You know, they say we've got one that can see, and maybe we've got one that can hear. So what are your thoughts on this so far? I'm going to play some more clips. Audio pareidolia, reverse speech, real or nah? 702-957-1037. Here we go. Here's me amped up. Now, I did this show not too long ago, and this was from... What day was this? This is sometime last week. I was talking about the scrying mirror, social media, Instagram, not caring about killing young women, right? Talking about body image and just all this stuff. And it's like, well, you know, it's a statistic if we make money on it, meaning we being Facebook, right? So there you go. The statistic that way is the suicides of young girls, which is tragic as hell. Never, ever even consider that. Please, there are people out there to help 24 hours a day, suicide hotlines and whatnot. I'll even put those in the link in the description as we go tonight. I also want to make sure, right? Don't ever consider that. That's the worst option. It shouldn't be an option at all. Don't do it. Suicide is horrific. There's somebody that loves you. I promise you that. And first and foremost, you should love yourself. First and foremost, period. And then everybody else, I promise you, you have somebody that loves you. Okay, just letting you know. And I truly believe that. Okay, so here we go. Let's play some more of this. This was me freaking out on that show, and I was amped up. My mom called me afterward, and she's like, "Man, were you fired up tonight?" Robert made a comment over on Rockfin. The Robert said, "Wow, I couldn't go to sleep tonight if I wanted to with you fired up like this, Mike." So this is a show where I was fired up, and I thought, okay, so these little bite-sized pieces of audio of me kind of speaking, it doesn't seem to be anything there. It sounds like I'm speaking Russian, French, German, Dutch, and all this other stuff combined, right? Weirdness, French, I don't know, who knows? But, here we have a forward clip. Let's hear this. Let's see, is this the one I'm looking for? I think this is it. So let's play this, and then we'll play it backward. Here you go. This is from a show last week when I was actually fired up. Action. Fear. Constant fear from media, constant fear from social media, bullying from people that think that if you don't think politically like them, then you're a racist or you're an idiot or both. Okay, so that was me last week in a show just like this. Live, just unscripted, just speaking, angry about things. And well, that's 15 seconds. Let's hear that exact clip in reverse. Listen closely. Do you hear anything that maybe reverse speech may or may not be a thing? Listen, here's that exact thing in reverse. I'll do them both again so you can hear, but here we go. Part 2, reverse. Brady in your sister roaring in my galley looking at one you reach that that will be Murphy Heidi Moshos Murphy if it's not Heidi Murphy if it's not Rafe. Okay. Anything? Do you hear anything? I think, and again, back to what Jennifer said, I think we got to slow it down to actually maybe try and hear words. But because we do speak fast and the rest of that, especially me, I've been known to speak incredibly fast when I want to. But is there anything there? I'm going to play it again. All right. Forward and then backward. Then we'll just play backward a couple more times. Do you hear anything there? Yeah, I can't slow it down now. I'm sorry. The audio processing has been done. I don't think I can slow it down on my soundboard. But okay, can I? Let's see. Hold on. Maybe I can do this on the fly and slow this down. Yeah, I can fade. No, I don't think I can. Okay. So anyway, play it forward, play it backward. This is a clip from me last week doing this exact show, not exact show. We're time traveling. We're going to hear Michael Strange from a week ago. Action. Fear. Constant fear from media, constant fear from social media, bullying from people that think that if you don't think politically like them, then you're a racist or you're an idiot or both. Okay, and now backward. Brady in your sister roaring in my galley looking at one you reach that will be Murphy Heidi Moshos Murphy if it's not Heidi Murphy if it's not Rafe. Okay, right? Did you hear anything? I didn't hear anything. But again, that doesn't mean there's nothing there. You probably have to listen carefully. You probably have to slow things down. But that's the point. That's the point of the conversation tonight. So is there something there or is there nothing there? And if you do slow things down or process them very much like EVPs and things like this, is it our subconscious mind sort of speaking through us? And if it is, if it isn't, I don't know. That's where we're at. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Love to hear what's going on. Tyler, I'll tell you that during the break. Thanks for asking about the Twitch subs. Appreciate that. All right. So that's what's on my mind tonight. This idea of audio pareidolia and reverse speech. Okay. So there's more here. There's all these different reverse speech institutes. This is from reversespeech.com. This is actually David John Oates and his website. He's got a website here, and it is called reversespeech.com. Voices from the unconscious. And I'll read this real quick. So what is reverse speech and what he says about this? It's been called the discovery of the seventh sense. The research into this phenomenon has been described as being of Nobel caliber. Of course, that's somebody with their own press kit. It has been featured in numerous publications around the world, and in the United States, it became a household name in the late 90s. It is called reverse speech, the phenomenon of hidden backward messages in speech. It initially gained worldwide fame in the early 80s as those strange backward messages in rock and roll. Since that time, research has progressed significantly, and it is now known to exist in all forms of human speech. All right, so there's that. This is again from reversespeech.com. Check it out. This is the individual that actually did the pioneering on this. Okay, kind of took that idea of the 80s satanic panic and ran with it and started recording things and then playing them backward, and which I can do now. We've got that technology. It's super easy. Shout out to Rohan for helping me with that and saying, "Look, Mike, it's easy. I can do it with no hands." Look, Mike, no hands. It's totally easy, right? If you got Reaper, you right click on the thing and you re-render as a backward. It literally just do it for you with one click. I had no idea I could do this. I now have that technology, and now Rohan and Jennifer, you've created a monster, because I'm gonna start doing this backward speech from time to time, and not from David John Oates. Not nothing against that guy, but I want to find my own. I want to do my own semi-scientific research and try and find out if there are hidden messages in the things I say, hidden messages in the things politicians say. So we'll do a bunch of that. And there we go. Let's see. Kelly says, "I thought I heard the word sincere." Really? Let's play that again backward. Now, this is again, if Kelly said, I thought I heard the word sincere. Listen carefully. This is me ranting last week about this idea of the scrying mirror, Instagram, and the rest of this. Forward and backward. Here we go. Fear. Constant fear from media, constant fear from social media, bullying from people that think that if you don't think politically like them, then you're a racist or you're an idiot or both. Okay, backward. Kelly said he heard the word sincere. I like that. That would mean I'm not fibbing, right? Here we go. Backward, that exact same thing. I think he's right. I heard it in about the first 30% of that thing. It sounded like I did say sincere. Uh-oh. Is there something here? I'm going to play it one more time, see if you guys hear it, and then we'll take a quick break, and we'll get to Joe Biden. What are your thoughts on this? Audio pareidolia and reverse speech. Which is which? You think we're making something up here, or do you think there's something to this? One more time. Do you hear the word sincere in about the 30% mark? This is a 15-second clip. Here we go. I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna give it a good solid maybe. Thanks, Kelly, for pointing that out. Yeah, I don't know. And I think that's why we're doing this. And I don't want to tell you what I heard before I hear it, because that's, again, right, kind of what would you call it? Cheating. That's cheating. That's my opinion, cheating. So I'm going to play these things and see if you hear something, and then we'll do like Kelly said. He said, "Hey, I thought I heard the word sincere." And I think I did hear it. I think you're right. So, hey, was I sincere? Yeah, I was fired up. I was literally not. I'm not putting you guys on. I'm not here to put you guys on. I'm not here to fib and make up narratives and these things. I'm here to have a conversation. So it doesn't behoove me to show up and lie. So there's that. But then the second thing is, hey, sincere popped out of there. So I wonder. So what are your thoughts on this? We're going to get to the Joe Biden clip in a minute here. Bo Jiden, and we'll get to that. What's up, Vicky? I see you over there on Rockfin and Adonna. Highly emotional and associate yeah, I'm not sure what you mean there. Yeah, I don't know. You tell me. What are your thoughts on this? The universe in reverse, audio pareidolia and reverse speech. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll get to Joe in Florida. Joe in Florida will be on the show with us in just one moment. So I've got more. We're going to play more. As you know, we go into a third hour on this show, and we've got plenty of time to play these clips and find out what the hell's going on. Audio pareidolia, reverse speech, which is which? Is there some trick of the subconscious mind, or are we just trolling ourselves? 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Don't go anywhere. More, the universe in reverse. Reverse speech, Joe in Florida, and your calls when we return. Be right back. Welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, D-Live, and Twitter, and we are broadcasting live on the Fringe FM. We're taking your phone calls tonight as we discuss this idea of reverse speech. Reverse speech. Do you think our subconscious mind somehow, some way, is embedding maybe code, maybe the same thought in reverse, or giving away our lies if you play our speech backwards? What about the satanic panic of the 80s? And, well, remember when they used to say back in the day, if you played rock and roll music backwards, you would get the devil? Satanic panic of the 80s. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. I've got a clip from Joe Biden we'll play in just a moment. But before we do that, or Bo Jiden, we're going to do that tonight because it's backwards night. And then Ronald, in honor of Ronald wearing his underwear backwards. There you go. We're going to go to Joe in Florida. Welcome to Troubled Minds, my friend. How are you tonight? What's on your mind? What do you think regarding this reverse speech? Real or nah?
You know, I think it's real, but it depends on the statements. Like the last few statements you played were just that. They were statements. I didn't hear anything for those things that you played in reverse. You were just giving out a statement. It would be like reading the title to a book. But with politicians, like you're going to play, I find it interesting. I did look something up, and it was from 2000, and it says that employers can use reverse speech and hidden memory and experiences for employee selection. There's a friend of mine that I spoke to tonight. I think she's trying to listen to the show. She took a speech class, and she believes in it, you know, and she's like an English major. For myself, you know, I'll give you an example that sometimes I use. It would be like, you know, my wife, she gives me a pretty long leash to hang myself. So if I go out with the boys and I'm having some beers at a place that I have to give out dollar bills, she's like, that's fine, don't get a dance, anything like that, right? But sometimes I come home, and instead of just not even opening my mouth, like, how'd it go last night? I have to tell myself, keep it short and sweet. Because even though she's not going to detect me speaking in reverse, subliminally, something might come out, you know, in the truth, and she might hear it. And a woman catches on.
Wait. What are you trying to say, Joe? Are you doing dirty stuff?
It's like catching...
What are you trying to say, Joe?
I missed that. I'm sorry.
What are you trying to say? Are you out there doing ridiculous stuff?
Women,
come on, come on, Joe. You're telling on yourself, man.
After a hockey game, you know, you want to get $2 beers on a Sunday, and maybe support some girls that are doing exercise on stage.
Oh, I see. I got you. I see.
You know, but the thing is this: if we have lie detectors, right? So lie detectors pick up movement and everything else. Who's to say that lie detectors couldn't pick up reverse speech? Is there an algorithm for a computer program that would be able to pick this up? I would imagine there is. The other thing that kind of makes me wonder is, and this is a far stretch, are we predetermined? We talk about that, right? Do we have free will, predetermined? What's going to happen? If we try to distort the truth or try to hide from the truth, is that going to come out in reverse speech? If it's a terrible truth, if it's a murder, if it's a lie, I don't know. But does that mean that it's already out there? I guess the lyrics or the, you know, the script to our life is already pre-written, and we might try to twist it or turn it or say, we didn't want to do that. You know, I didn't want to kick my boss in the shin, you know, but it happens, and it's going to come out in speech. You know, that's the clearest thing for me. I know sometimes I come home and maybe I don't want to say the whole thing that went on last night. Maybe I don't want to say that I was out drinking, having a couple more drinks. or I was out late. You could just omit it, or
keep it short and sweet,
or just not say the whole thing. Just say, I was stuck in traffic, and then let them play that in reverse. And maybe stuck in traffic means I was stuck at the strip club. I don't know.
It'll probably come out that way.
But
we're going to have to find out. With your permission, Joe, we're going to have to play this call backwards and find out.
So, but again, you're saying statements. I'm wondering if somebody's questioned on something and they're trying to lie, if they'll hear the truth. Then when you bring up rock music, it is kind of interesting. Rock music might be a little bit angry. Metal might be a little bit angry. You might hear some things in Ozzy Osbourne. Is the Pareidolia like it's up there? Did they really do something? Maybe it'd be kind of neat to think about that. Maybe they really did make a deal with the devil for fame. And it's coming out that way. And there's influence. It's just not that I believe in any of this. Like you say, we just drink the baby juice. But we just kind of throw things up to the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, well, and again, right, you know me.
I'm interested to hear about Biden.
Yeah, we got Biden. We'll play in as just a sec, but you know me, right? I'm like, let's put this a little bit to the test, and not just shotgun maybe juice and say, yeah, definitely. Let's look if we have the technology and we can do this, let's do it. So I put myself to the test. Let's play some me speaking in reverse and find out if there's something there. So far, a whole lot of nothing, right? Kelly heard the word sincere. I like that. But also, somebody else heard, Donna heard the word inmate. I don't like that. I don't like that. So
no, I don't like that. But, sincere, I've always seen you as for the years I've listened to the show. I think we would all agree that comes across on the microphone.
Me being an inmate? I'm not.
And you're a very good host and very non-judgmental because you have had some trouble, troubling callers that you've given their fair berth. And it would be funny to play that in reverse because I remember we had a caller on that was kind of pushing their views and you were trying to be nice to him. And I wonder if you could pull that recording to see what you were saying backwards now that I think about it. I've never heard of this. My friend, she told me, she's like, yeah, I've heard of that. I believe in it. I found the subject interesting. I don't have much to contribute, except that, again, lie detector tests, half-truths. Maybe when you play in reverse, the other thing is this. You want to play Biden. What's in a name? What's in a name? What was the name of the last president we had? Trump. What's in a name? Does the word have power? If it has that much power, does it have power in reverse?
That's a good question.
Yep. Well, and we say spelling, right? We've had the show before where spelling is a spell. And I'll be honest with you, at the beginning of your show, when you played some stuff in reverse, I'm like, I sure as heck hope this isn't some kind of CIA spell that's going to make me tell them all the money I've made in cash on the side if I have to pay taxes or something like that. I don't know,
Right.
So,
yeah, it does sound like... It does sound like an ancient spell. Like hopefully me speaking backwards is not summoning the devil. That's not what I'm trying to do. Totally not what I'm trying to do. You're the best, Joe. What else you got for us, my man?
Nothing. I hope I could speak backwards and my boss could fall in a hole in the cemetery and they could just close it up on him. That'd be great.
All right. Got you. Copy that. We got Daryl behind you. You're the best, Joe. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the phone call. God bless you and the fam, bro. We'll talk to you soon. Have a fantastic night. Thanks a lot. There you go. 702-957-1037. We're talking about reverse speech, audio pareidolia and reverse speech. Which is which? Is there a something? What's up, Sarah? I see in the chat. Spelling is a spell. And exactly. So if words have power, like Joe said, do they have power backward? Love to hear your thoughts on this. Let's go to Daryl in New York. Are you there? Test 1, 2. Daryl in New York. How are you? Welcome to Troubled Minds. What's going on?
Thanks, Michael. This is a crazy subject. I want to tell you 3 things only. When I was younger, I used to hang out with a group of people, and we used to make up backwards words. We used to speak backwards. I'm not going to tell you what we said, but we used to make up backwards sentences.
Okay, all right. Was it?
Maybe after the show, I'll tell you one of the things that was common.
Did it sound like cuff links?
I can't say it.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. Don't say it. Don't say it.
I won't say it. Anyway, the other thing was the Beatles. I remember, I'm going to date myself, but the Sgt. Pepper album came out, and there was this rumor that Paul McCartney was dead. I don't know if everybody remembers this, anybody remembers this. And if you played Strawberry Fields backwards, you can hear John Lennon say, "I bury Paul," if you played it backwards. And it was like, I don't know if it was a deliberate thing to sell records. I couldn't even sleep alone when I heard Paul McCartney was dead. I was like, I don't know how old, 9 years old. I was so afraid. I don't know. And that record creeped me out. Like there was all this symbolism on the cover with the devil. And then there was like a hand over Paul McCartney's head. That meant he was dead. And then he was barefoot on Abbey Road, walking barefoot. Anyway, there was all the symbolism that, and backwards stuff on these rock albums that had messages. They really did. I mean, they would make sense forwards, and they also made sense backwards. They were very clear. But I want to mention one more thing. I heard an entire show where some girl had collected all these politicians, and I think it was on Jeremy, Into the Paranormal. It might have been that show. She had so many recordings of politicians speaking backwards, and she was certain that this was intentional, that they had subliminal messages in their speeches, and that they were saying like very sinister things, and they were like secret things. I think she had Hillary Clinton. I think she had Trump. I don't even remember, but it was a whole show about this, believe it or not. And she played all these speeches backwards, and it was like weird because it made sense, and it was all intentional, she felt. So I'm just saying, the whole show is about that. I have to find it. I think I have to find it now that you did this.
We're about to put that to the test. I've got Joe Biden, as it's since we're being backwards tonight, and I've got him making a statement yesterday. I think it was yesterday, the day before, maybe. This is brand new. Clyde Lewis did a show on this last night. In particular, the chilling basic. What he says forward is chilling by itself, but let's see what it sounds like backwards. So we'll play that in just a sec. So, but I don't want to cut you off. What else do we got for you? You're welcome to stay. Of course, you know what to do. But what else you got for us before I start playing those clips?
I think that's about it. It does sound a little like that EVP thing. I like doing that EVP thing, especially. So I could kind of make out sentences. I heard like very, very similar things that APOC heard also. We heard a lot of Smurf.
A lot of, yes. What's up? Shout out to S Magician over there on the chat on Fringe FM. He says, all I hear is Smurf, 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 Smurf. And it kind of sounds like that.
Yeah, that's Smurf going on.
Yeah, right? It kind of sounds like that. All right. You know what to do. Daryl in New York, she's got a YouTube channel. Please check it out. She sings in French and English. Links in the description. Give her some love. Great stuff, Daryl. I appreciate it. You're welcome to stay right there. Just go ahead and mute up. I'll turn it on so you can hear it in the Discord when I play these clips, okay? But you're welcome to stay right there.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate the phone call. Thanks for listening. All right, so we're talking about this idea of audio pareidolia and reverse speech. Which is which? Is it real? What's up? Cal says, we all know you're in Soros's pocket, Mike. Yeah, right. I wish. meaning I wish I got those paychecks and I don't. In any case, all right, so let's do it. Now, this is what I've been teasing all night, all right? We're going to go bass backwards. What's up? Shout out to Ronald in the over on Rockfin. Is we're going to do Joe Biden. All right. This is his statement he made, which is chilling front ways. But listen if you can hear something when we go in reverse. Listen to this. Here's the first statement in its entirety.
We are at an inflection point, I believe, in the world economy. Not just the world economy, in the world. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations. As one of the top military people said to me in a secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946. And since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people dying, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. And we've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
Okay, did you hear what he just said? Right? You hear what he just said? Forward is chilling enough. He's like, 60 million people died, and we're doing a little better than that, so that's fine. Liberal New World Order. You notice it's not even a New World Order anymore. It's so splintered, this reality, that they think the only way they can stop people from dying is to do whatever it is they think they're doing politically. Well, I think a lot of people disagree. I disagree. But it's a pretty low bar to say, we ain't killed 60 million people, so we're doing fine. It's like, okay, nice job, Joe. Keep at it. But you notice the way he speaks, it's kind of, again, I don't want to pick on Joe Biden more than I have to, all right? Because, again, I feel it. We're all locked into it. I think he's unfit for a lot of reasons, particularly because of his cognitive issues. He has a hard time speaking. You can hear it, okay? But listen to what that exact thing is backward. Yep, you got it. I got that entire thing he just said in reverse. Here you go. Listen very carefully. See what you hear.
Yes, ja, nu ben ik niet meer. Dat is niet meer snel en vast dan ook bij het van so sharing is no fear is there low when they not below system you not below when they feel about Michelle from earlier one you now look me when I'm just I know it low you for service now you like me is need like me the hurdle low when they and there is fishers and no mouse design so I ask you there in there one the mouth look me long wall and the find that the hurdle low or but still that's a game that's
Okay. Now, other than gibberish, did you hear anything in there? I'll play it again, all right? So we got a third hour coming up, so I'll be able to... I heard Enoch. Yes, MJ said I heard Enoch. I heard it too. Once or twice even. I heard him say Enoch. Okay, so what else did you hear in that? All right, I'm going to play it one more time. I'm going to play the, let's do it. We got time. I'm going to play the first part again, the second part again, and then I'm going to ask you, listen very carefully. Did you hear what I heard, what Rohan heard? We talked about this. I think there's some interesting things afoot in this exact statement. One more time. The first part, forward, is chilling enough. We'll play that again, then we'll play the backward a couple more times, and then break it down in smaller pieces and slow it down as we go for the rest of tonight. Here we go. The first statement is this.
We are at an inflection point, I believe, in the world economy. Not just the world economy, in the world. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations. As one of the top military people said to me in a secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946. And since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people dying, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. And we've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
Okay, chilling enough, forward. Here we go. We're going to play this backward. And I see some in the chat that heard what I heard. I see you out there. We'll break this down a little bit further as we go further on tonight. This is this exact speech in reverse. Listen to this.
Yes, ja, nu ben ik niet meer. Dat is niet meer snel en vast dan ook bij het van so sharing is no fear is there low when they not below system you not below when they feel about Michelle from earlier one you now look me when I'm just I know it low you for service now you like me is need like me the hurdle low when they and there is fishers and no mouse design so I ask you there in there one the mouth look me long wall and find that the hurdle low or but still that's a game that's
Okay, so there's a lot there because it's a 40-second clip, and to do it properly, you got to listen several times. You got to slow it down. You maybe trim up some parts, or maybe you hear some things. What did you hear? What did you hear in that clip? And now, compelling? You want evidence? You want, hey, maybe there's something to this. So again, if you play it forward, it's a pretty sinister statement, right? We're not murdering 60 million people, so we're fine. It's fine. This is totally fine. A new liberal world order, right? This is fine, right? And then, well, we're doing better than World War II. We ain't butchered 60 million people yet. We're doing okay. Yeah, nice job. Way too, pie in the sky. Good job, Joe. All right? But then, sinister enough. But did you hear at the end of that? Did you hear? And I'm not gonna say it. It was near the end what I heard. All right, but I'm gonna play it one more time in reverse. In reverse. Listen carefully and closely. This is Joe Biden speaking about the New World Order in reverse. One more time, and then I'll break down exactly. Tyler. Here we go. Listen very carefully.
Yes, yeah, nothing neighbor. So name this me fair still in Boston. I know it's when I was at so sharing I know fear reserve got low when they not below the sun. I'm not below when they feel about the shells from the earlier one. You now look me when I'm just I know it's low you for service now. Do you like me? But it's neither like me when I heard of low when they were and these pictures get no mouse design. So I actually there ain't there wasn't a mouth look like my wall and to find that there a low war but still that's a game that's sketch from east down to not east down.
Okay. Robert says nuclear, Anunnaki, no malice is words I heard. Let's go over to YouTube. What's going on, guys? What did APOC Berserk design? Indigo Kid heard design. What's going on, guys? APOC heard World War. Oh, did you? You say? Matt heard Illuminati. Tyler heard World War is there. And again, James fear Berserk. Again, right? All right. So I was talking to Rohan about this. We're like, is there something in this? Are we hearing things? What's going on, right? And remember, I did not tell you what to listen for in terms of I heard something. You guys are hearing it too, all right, in the chat. Listen to this, all right? So I'm going to break it down a little bit slower, and this is audio work done by Rohan real quick. Listen to this. This is the short version real quick. Listen carefully. Do you hear what I hear? I heard him say World War and necessary and stop short of necessary. That's what I heard. Listen to this one more time and we'll wrap this up. Is that World War something necessary? And then he continues his thought with some of the thing. He definitely says World War, right? It's in there. And that's near the end of that clip, that statement. I don't know. You tell me. So I don't know. As we finish this, we got more of this. We'll continue to talk about this as we go into the third hour here. But what in the world is going on? I have no freaking idea. This is absolutely wild, right? So as we finish this, you guys know the drill. If you're listening to us on the Fringe FM, stay tuned for Joe Roop Lighting the Void. If you're listening to us on any other platform, including the podcast feed, stay tuned for a third hour of Troubled Minds. Remember, it doesn't matter what I think. It matters what you think. Is there something to reverse speech, or is it simply audio pareidolia? Well, now we've created a monster. I blame Jennifer. I blame Rohan. Now I know how to do this. We're going to do more of this in the future, and we're going to keep an eye on these politicians and see if the things they say are actually possibly embedded in this reverse speech. Is this real? Is it not? I have no idea. But I'm going to keep trying and keep listening, and maybe this is real. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out with us. You guys know the drill. If you want to help this show, spread the word. Good old-fashioned word of mouth beats the algorithms. And, well, we're going to keep on doing this because nobody can tell us what to say. Nobody can tell us what to think. So let's get the hell out of here. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being part of this. Thanks for all the amazing phone calls. A shout out to Rohan and Jennifer for creating a monster. And let's do it. As we finish, be sure, be strong, be true. Thank you for listening. From our troubled minds to yours, have a great night. I don't know. I don't know. I heard World War in there, almost for sure. And then necessary, like he almost World War necessary. Like he changed his mind? I don't know. What did you guys hear? We'll play these clips again, and we'll keep on trucking tonight. What do you believe regarding this? Is this real? Is there something to this? This idea of reverse speech revealing what we actually mean? Well, I've got more examples from myself, not thinking about this from previous shows before I was even able to do this stuff. So I got more examples of that. We can talk about this Joe Biden stuff, as I promised. What do you believe? Reverse speech real? Reverse speech nah? Is it audio pareidolia? And what the hell's going on with this? Still taking your phone calls, 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. And, real or nah? World, man, I need a joint, says, what's up? Says, hold on, where did I see that? Hold on. Chris says, man, I need a joint. World War with us. Oh, snap. Exactly. MJ's got it. Like, World War is necessary. I'll play it when we get back. What do you guys think? Reverse speech, real or not? Don't go anywhere. 2-minute break. More Trouble Minds on the way. Taking your phone calls. 702-957-1037. Be right back. Don't go anywhere. All right, welcome back to Troubled Minds. I'm your host, Michael Strange, and we are streaming on Rockfin, YouTube, DLive, and Twitter, and we are now off the Fringe FM, which means if you can't trust yourself to not drop an F-bomb on the radio, you are welcome on the show. All right. So what did you hear? What did you hear with that Joe Biden thing? Is this, well, like it sounds? I certainly hope not. I certainly hope not. So the thing is, well, that's the question tonight. What about reverse speech? All right. We've got some more examples. I can play more of this. Rohan's got some stuff for us too. I don't know if he's out there listening, but there's a lot to this. It's a little bit weird in that how does this work? How does this happen? Is this one of those situations where reverse speech is or is not a situation? And that's the thing, right? Is it exactly audio pareidolia? Is it exactly what's going on here? Do you believe this? Do you not believe this? Is it somewhere in between? Did you hear what I heard with? Yep. No. Okay. So I don't think I can slow it down. I don't have that technology now. I can, but if I start opening up other programs during a live stream, the shit may break. So I can't. But what I can do is we can slow it down, and we did do that last part. We slowed it down, and we have some other stuff that Rohan did for us as well, which I'll play in just a sec. But what did you hear? So what, the darkness is coming? Oh God, I hope not. Is there a TV on in the background, Mike? No. What TV? TV where? What do you mean? What do you mean? Nah. There's no TV. There's no TVs in this room. Just all these black scrying mirror screens. So anyway, all right. So what are your thoughts on this? And we're still talking about this idea of reverse speech. All right. So we'll get back to Joe Biden in just a sec. But what did you hear? Robert's over there doing all kinds of crazy stuff on Rockfin, doing everybody's name in reverse, and which is super hilarious. So what do you believe? Is reverse speech like it sounds? Back to this real quick. And again, this is from reversespeech.com. This is, again, the individual. It goes by the name David John Oates. All right. And this is how he describes it. If human speech is recorded and played backwards, mixed amongst the gibberish at regular intervals can be heard very clear statements. These statements usually appear in short sentence form and are nearly always related to the forward speech. It appears constantly throughout language, so much so, in fact, that it is believed to be a natural part of our speech processes. The pioneer and 32-year veteran of this field, Australian David John Oates, describes reverse speech as another form of human communication. He states that language is bi-level, forward and reverse. As the human brain constructs and the sounds of speech, see what I did there? It forms those sounds in such a way that two messages are delivered simultaneously. One forwards, which is the conscious mind speaking, and the other in reverse, which is the unconscious mind speaking. So we have some more examples because I promised more examples. And I did my own where I went back and did myself speaking on previous shows from last week where I was a little bit fired up. I was a little bit amped. Okay, and I wanted to see intentionally if there were some things I was saying that were related, and we did that previously, and Kelly heard me say the word sincere. Somebody else heard inmate. So, well, I promise you I'm not an inmate, at least, well, cross your fingers, right? Because, of course, I don't break the law, but there's that. But then, well, what are we hearing? Is this, again, some sort of bizarre busted BS? I don't know, like, what's going on with this? We're going to do it, and let's smash this thing, and let's find out some more. So what are your thoughts? I'd rather take your calls, but I'm going to play some more examples. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. And I'm going to tease the Joe Biden thing a little bit more, because there's more in there. We're going to get to that in just a sec as we go. Love to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think this reverse speech could actually be real? And that's what's on my mind tonight. So let's play this. Let's see. Let's make sure this is still good so Daryl can hear. All right, perfect. Let's play this. Now, this is me again. We're going to go back to me. All right. Now, this is me going off about Instagram. All right. Listen to this. This is from that same show where I was fired up. I was super pissed off, and I wasn't even thinking of a reverse speech. I was just trying to make a point. All right. Stream of consciousness, that's how I do this show. And you guys know, right? It's completely unscripted. I have a rough outline. I got some articles, and I go, right? That's it. That's how I do this, okay? It's not as voodoo as it sounds, but maybe some people believe it is voodoo. Anyway, here we go. Let's do this. This is me raging on Instagram. Listen to this. Instagram in particular is literally attacking the idea of the human self, right? The idea of the human psyche, that we have the right to be different than each other, right? That we all shouldn't look like Barbie dolls or Ken dolls. Okay, there you go. I was pretty fired up that show. And I was trying to make a point. I was trying to make my best point, okay? And here we go. That was forward. Listen to that exact thing in reverse. I hear a shit ton of gibberish. I have a hard time hearing the words in that. All right, I'm gonna play them again both times. Like I said, I'd rather hear you guys' thoughts on this, but I'll play these examples because it's fun, because we spent the time doing them. But let's hear them. But what are your thoughts? Do you think there's something to reverse speech, or do you think it's a bunch of BS? 702-957-1037. Let's go back and shit on Instagram for a minute. Instagram in particular is attack. Okay, just play backwards. Got it. Here we go. You heard it the first time. Here we go. Backwards. Knee pads. What the fuck, man? All right, so here's what we'll do next time. Like I said, I'm a rookie at this. We have the technology to not only reverse it but also slow it down. I didn't do a lot of that. Rohan did some of that. I don't know if he's still out there listening, but he helped me with this tonight. And what's up? Ronald says, I heard Queen of Sheba twice. What? Exo Awoken says, roof Shiva is what you guys are hearing Shiva? What the fuck? All right, here we go. I'm going to play this again. This is again from me. So this is a show of me last week, before I even considered the idea of reverse speech. Tonight, I've gone through and I've sort of peeled off some more of this, and more. Jennifer says more, and my brain goes more, right? So I've peeled off some of this from previous shows of myself speaking to see if there's these subliminal reverse speech messages. So let's go back to that real quick. This is me raging on Instagram, talking about how it's destroying what humans are, okay? From a digital basis, from et cetera, so on. Let's hear it again. I'll play it a few more times. And we're hearing Shiva. Enlil in there? What are you hearing? Algo says, YouTube playback settings on 0.5 people. Do it now. All right. I'll wait. If you guys want to play it back 0.5, I'll do it. And what's up? Exo Awoken says, this episode is just terrifying for no reason, that I have all my lights on. All right. It's not that bad. This is just me. It's just me. It's just little old me, guys. All right. So you can slow it down on YouTube. So what we'll do in the future, like I said, I'm a rookie at this. This is the first try. I didn't even realize I could do this so easily. I can do this extremely easily. We can also slow it down. We'll do this in the future and look at not just what I'm doing and saying. We'll look at what, again, MJ has requested his calls. Don't worry if you guys call in. I will never do this without your permission. Don't worry. I will do this on politicians and shit, like Joe Biden. We've got one of those. We'll get back to that in just a second, all right? What's up? Michael, MJ says, Shiva uses knee pads. What the fuck? I didn't say that. Did I say that? Okay, anyway, here we go. Slow it down. Here we go. Playing it again. Okay. He went down. What the fuck? We're talking about going down. We're talking about knee pads and Shiva. Wow. I'm more kinky than I thought. And Lil at the end. What the shit, guys? I don't know. Like, this is what I'm saying, right? So is this real or is this just a bunch of BS? Reverse speech, audio pareidolia, they are two very different things, unless, of course, you think they're the same thing. Love to hear your thoughts on this. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. Shiva, knee pads, and going down? Is that what I'm saying? Fuck. Oh, boy. I heard Shiva twice, knee pads twice. There it is. Okay, well, there you go. And that's why I wouldn't do it without you. I wouldn't do it without your permission, because I don't want to have something come out that... geez. All right. Anyway, so is that real or is that not real? That's the question. Is it just us sort of putting together patterns of random sounds and creating words that may or may not be words? All right. That's the question. So I don't know. What's up? Adonis says Shiva, knickers, lying, knee pads. Oh, God. Yep. Oh, shit. We're in trouble now. Yeah, exactly. Right. There you go. Okay, so again, if you have ideas on this, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Crab apple, we getting real, Mike. There we go. We're getting real up in here. All right, so 702-957-1037. Let's see. I got, what else? Did I do more? Yeah, I think I did let's see, maybe juice. Mass hysteria. All right, I got another one. Here we go. This may be short. This may be long. I don't remember. Also want to be... Okay, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to play this one more time, and you guys can hear it if you want to slow it down once again. But, of course, as you know, we're recording it, and it can... you can always go back and check this. So here we go. Playing it one more time. Exact same thing. Here we go. All right, knee pads. I heard it. Shiva, I heard it. Shiva, knee pads. Okay, boy. He went down. Shiva, floss, knee pads. Okay. And this is, again, the original clip, just for frame of reference, and then we'll get to the rest of this stuff. That's what I'm saying. We could do this shit all day. We could do a week long of this shit, guys. If you dig this type of stuff, we can definitely do a bunch of this. So here we go. This is the original clip, where it came from. This is me raging last week on none other than Troubled Minds Radio. Instagram, in particular, is literally attacking the idea of the human self, right? The idea of the human psyche, that we have the right to be different than each other, right? That we all shouldn't look like Barbie dolls or Ken dolls. Okay, there you go, right? There it is. So apparently... I don't know either. All right, so there you go. So what are your thoughts on this? Is there something to this, or is this just a bunch of BS? Again, audio pareidolia and reverse speech are literally the opposite things. One says that we're just taking these ideas of reversing speech and hearing things that may or may not be there, okay? Creating words, right? The other thing says actual reverse speech says this. Let's see. In human speech, if it's recorded and played backwards, mixed amongst the gibberish at regular intervals, can be heard very clear statements. These statements usually appear in short sentence form and are nearly always related to the forward speech. It appears constantly throughout language, so much so, in fact, that it is believed to be a natural part of the speech process. Okay, so this is from reversespeech.com. And again, the individual that owns this website and has been, quote, pioneering this is David John Oates. Okay, so, well, you tell me. What is your thought? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link. I'll just play clips all night till I put you guys to sleep, but what are you actually hearing? What are you actually hearing? And that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. And there it is. There it is. S. Magician said, I heard World War Berserk. Americans share reserve malice design. No fear, knew it, psyop. And that's from that's from the fringe chat there, and that's what he heard on Joe Biden. So we'll get back to Joe Biden in a sec. Bo Jiden. We're going to do Bo Jiden tonight because why not? But anyway, so like I said, is there something here? Is there something not here? Is there something to this? Is it a bunch of bullshit, or well, yeah. I don't know if Rohan's still out there. He was supposed to be drinking beers and yucking it up with us tonight, but I think he did his deed and he took off. Rohan, where are you at, bro? What is going on with this? You think this is bullshit or not? Okay, so let's go. Another clip from me. Let's see what time. Okay, we're good. 702-957-1037. We'll put you on the show. Love to hear your thoughts on this. BS or not, we're off the radio now, so if you have a potty mouth, you're totally good. Just don't say things about the the things that the technocracy will take us down for. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. Those things. Anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Let's go to. Looks like we got a first-time caller. Is this? What's your first name? Where are you calling from? Welcome to Troubled Minds.
It's Bernays.
Bernays, what's up? Bernays sauce. Bernays sauce, what's up? How are you? What's going on, my man? What is on your mind tonight? What state are you in? Can you tell me the state?
I'm calling out of Detroit.
Bernays in Michigan. Go right ahead. Do you think this is bullshit, my man, or do you think there's something to this?
No, I think it's real, actually. With the most of these guys believe they're witches, or they are witches. They're practicing the magic. And for anyone to do the magic to you, I must inform you that I'm doing the magic. In their book, in reverse, they're informing you. So when they're telling you these things in reverse, they're relieving the burden of the souls that would die on them.
Right. So I've heard that before, but sort of that Illuminati thing that they can do whatever they want as long as they tell you they're doing it, right?
Correct. And that's what you're hearing in the reverse. Or you can go with the old Western that white man speak with forked tongue.
Okay. All right. I got you. So is this the first time you've heard of this?
I'm a believer in this, Mike. I am actually a believer in this. It's there's too many things that I've heard in reverse that come back and are in play, and it's usually with the politicians. If you play with your speed more and mess with this, you tried Gates a few times. Tried Gates and Ari Felcher. I think that's the fella. They're both going in reverse, back and forth. George Stephanopoulos, him too. It's amazing when you start hearing some of these guys. You can just say I got a troubled mind or whatever, but like I said, when you look at Crowley with his book, with speaking in reverse, being in reverse, walking in reverse, this is part of their game. And if some of our minds don't take it in and start thinking about it, they're going to run us over a little bit. So I'll let you have a great night, and you're doing a great show, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being here every night. Thanks for doing you. Appreciate the phone call. You're the best, bro. You're welcome anytime. Please call back.
No problem. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. That's Bernays Sauce in the chat. Bernays Sauce in Michigan, and also in the YouTube chat. And there you go. We got some good stuff from the Robert over here on Rockfin. He says this. He's been looking up people's names backwards and seeing what they actually say and seeing if there's something here, right? He says this. Robert says, "Hey, Michael, your name spelled backward in Google search reveals. According to a user from Canada, the name Lithium which is, of course, Michael backwards, is of Hebrew origin and means gift of God. According to a user from Virginia, U.S., the name Leachim, Leachim, is of Hebrew origin and means who is like God. Oh. Good stuff, Bernays. Let's see. We got another one. Robert doing the reverse stuff over there on Rockfin says, Robert spelled backwards in Google search reveals. The type of guy who always thinks he's better than everyone else. He will make up lies about games that he plays to look cooler to the person he is talking to. Shit. There you go. Robert fouling up the fouling up the works. What do you guys think? Thanks for the first time caller there, Bernays Sauce. He's always in the chat there, kicking it with us, and got some great ideas. So, what do you believe? The universe in reverse, audio pareidolia, or reverse speech? We'll get back to Joe Biden in just a bit. But what do you guys think? We got a lot here to talk about, a lot to think about. And is there something to this? Right? Is there something to this? And again, is our brain so advanced that we have this unconscious speech that's coming out of us forward and backward? That's pretty wild. So we'll get back to Joe Biden in just a sec. But that's what we're doing tonight. And again, I'm rookie at this. I just started just a few hours ago. I just started this and was like, shit, this is easy, which means we can start doing politicians. We could start doing people in the UFO community. We could start doing shit like this. Hopefully we don't get sued, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to be very careful and do public figures, because you can kind of like talk shit about public figures all you want. And as you know me, I don't like drama, and I don't like to like spend my time on these shows talking about particular people, right? There's a lot of people that do shows and do only that, or mostly that, where they just cause drama and talk about people. I hate that. I think it's sort of the lowest brow of entertainment, okay? But also, well, if this shit's real and people are actually saying these things backward and they make sense, well, let's take a look. I have no idea. What are your thoughts on this? We're taking your phone calls. The universe in reverse speech, or audio pareidolia. 702-957-1037. That's 702-957-1037. What's up, Rohan? You out there? You're the one who got me onto this. Buddy. Come on, man. All right. So we got more. Let's get back to where we at time-wise. I think we're okay. I think we played, let's see, what else do I got? Let's see. We did the maybe juice. We did the UFO. Let's just reframe this real quick, because I don't have, again, if I'm talking the whole time, literally for the whole third hour by myself without Bernays Sauce, then it's just me. So I'm looking to hear from you. Do you guys think there's something real, or do you think it's BS? So let's reframe this and start with me in the short clip, and then we'll get back to Biden in just a minute here. The UFO community can be extremely toxic, to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. Okay, there we go. That's the way that I'm meeting with as mass muster no, but it's cost deal mirrors save me UFO. UFO, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here we go. A little bit more. That's the way that I'm meeting with as mass muster no, but it's cost deal mirrors save me UFO. Yeah, I wish I could speak French. So you tell me, right? There we go. That's how we started tonight. I was like, hey, let's just play some of this shit, hear myself backwards, and we'll see if this is real. All right? I don't know. I'm the jury is still out, let's say. But what did you hear? I think that's the question, right? I think that's the question, right? Wow, Matthew backwards means destiny, luck, and powerful symbolism. There's a way. Mask UFO. All right, let's try this again. Like I said, I don't want to tell you what to listen for, things I heard. I want you to hear it and see what you heard, and then we'll talk about it, right? Try that again. That's the way that I'm meeting with as math muster no, but it's cost deal mirrors save me UFO. I did hear Satan. I said Satan and I said UFO. Oh, what's that forward? Satan and UFO? The UFO community can be extremely toxic, to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. Satan, UFO, listen. That's the way that I'm meeting with as math muster no, but it's cost deal mirrors save me UFO. Satan. UFO? What the fuck? 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubledminds.org. Got you, James. Let's go to James in Michigan. Satan, UFOs, bro. What's up, man? How are you?
Well, that is an interesting pairing, that's for sure.
I never expected I'd hear anything out of this shit, but I think, I think this is why this is the appropriate way to do this when there's a bunch of people listening, and right, so we can hear this or we can not hear this, but people hear different things, and the things that people are hearing, I'm hearing it. What do you think, James?
Well, it's interesting with that, not even just that one, but the first, the Biden clip. I didn't hear necessary or part of necessary. I heard rat's nest.
That tracks. That totally tracks. Rat's nest.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. We'll get back to that clip in a sec. It's kind of like the culmination of this whole thing. So I did it because I had to clunk it out for the radio and wind it down. We'll kind of reframe this, like I said, rather hear from you guys. But we'll get back to the Biden clip in a bit. So you did hear rat's nest. Did you hear anything else that seemed suspicious?
Definitely World War. Heard that a couple of times. And that's all I can remember for sure from that one. There was, I did feel like Fear and Berserk, Mass Design. I think that's all the ones I remember hearing from that one. But that is interesting. If you take that last clip, the Satan and UFO together, that's kind of a big theory, is that some UFOs are demons. Going back to Derek likes to talk about that sometimes. Night Stalker. But so that's interesting that those two were together in that phrase.
Yeah, and especially since I was kind of in an irritated fashion talking about how the UFO community is toxic. So it's like, interesting. UFO Satan. What the shit? What the shit, James? Wait, so when you first called, and by the way, I have to say, when I first started this tonight, I was like, no, there's nothing here, right? But then we keep playing these things, and I'm like, wait a fucking minute here. Has your mind started to change, James? Or do you still like, nah, come on, Mike?
Well, I'm always open to any possibility, so it's very rare that I'm ever completely discount anything. I do think, though, this is kind of proving maybe what I said earlier, where it just takes practice. It just takes listening to these things over and over again and to find different words in there, it's interesting. I feel like it could go either way in proving what this is. You could look at that and say, yes, there is more in there, or you could look at that and say, our minds are making up more, or the pareidolia thing. I feel like with a lot, just like with a lot of the paranormal in general, you can kind of take the same things and go either way with them, depending on what you feel or how you feel about it.
Oops, I muted myself. Exactly. And I think it's interesting, too. Like I said, I'm just getting going here. Like I said, Jennifer and Rohan created a monster just by mentioning this sort of in passing and kind of looking about the future and how we can do this, because I got this technology now. I am going to, oh boy, you watch. We're going to have some shit here where it's just been added to the quiver of arrows of troubled minds. We're going to be able to do backward speech, slow it down, do all kinds of crazy shit. I can already do the slow down stuff now, but I had no idea how easy backwards speech was. With if you guys want an easy way to do it, I use a audio program called Reaper. Reaper.fm. Again, this is not a commercial for them. It's just basically I've been doing audio for 25 years or more, and I think that without an Apple, probably the best thing. And Reaper works for Apple, by the way, but you can have an amazing, what they call a DAW, digital audio workstation. Reaper is the best I found. It's super lightweight. You can do all kinds of stuff. You can scale it up to the point we have tons of plugins and do shit like Pro Tools, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Or you can just use it as like a simple audio editor, and it's non-destructive. It's an incredible program, and that's exactly how I was able to do this tonight. Literally just like click, click, reverse. There it is. Like faster than you could say, what the fuck? It's that easy. Well, here we go. So add one more quiver to the Troubled Minds dangerous level, because here we go, James. We're about to be dangerous. We're about to be super dangerous. Derek says this in the chat. You're going to like this. He says, I was afraid I'd become the alien demon guy.
Well, and it's interesting how, not that I'm necessarily, pinning that on him, but it's something that does come up, and it's really interesting that would kind of come up in the reverse speech.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I said, isn't it? It seems like Satan and UFO is sort of in there. And it's a very, very short clip. One more time. Listen. So again, right, I didn't want to, like, what do you call it? Lead the jury, or whatever the term is, right? I didn't want to do that. But listen real quick. This is, again, the clip it's super short. This is what I said. Forward. The UFO community can be extremely toxic, to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. Okay, and that's a real thought, right? I wasn't like saying something. I just like was watching some UFO videos today with this community and the people, and I was like, "Fuck, this is just a cesspool," right? But then look what comes out in reverse. Do you hear Satan in UFO? That's the way that I'm meeting with. Yeah, this math must have no, but it's cost deal mirrors saving the UFO. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, yes.
Okay. So, in between Satan and UFO, it almost sounded like community.
Wait. Satan, community, UFO. Let's try it. Let's go. Let's replay this. Here we go. That's the way that I'm meeting with. Yeah, this math must have no, but it's cost deal mirrors saving the UFO. Holy shit, I think you're right, James. Backwards and forward. The same statement, backwards and forwards. The UFO community is Satan.
Oh, wow.
What the fuck? Are you kidding me? Now, look, this is what I'm saying. So, are we tricking ourselves into pareidolia? Or, James, I'm changing my mind on this. Are you changing your mind on? I'm not twisting your arm, but I'm like, holy shit. We'll get back to the Biden stuff in a sec, because there's some creepy other shit in the Biden statement. But whoa, right? I didn't even think it would work in these short statements. It was basically, like I said, semi-scientific. Let's record me. Let's do some short statements. And then I went to longer statements I made. And there seems to be something to it. I'm not sure about the Shiva and the knee pads, but other than that, there's something seems to be something here, right?
Well, and I didn't pick out the word that word community in the middle there. That the first couple times, that was just literally last time that you played that. So again, going back to that practice, listening to these over and over again, it makes you wonder, how long some of these sentences or these phrases could really be.
Exactly. And I think that's the craziest part. And again, I think it's supposed to manifest every few sentences, right? So it's not literally direct every single thing you say. It's parts of things you say sort of manifest as that, right? As in reverse. So I don't know. I think there's some weirdness to this, dude. So is it, James? Was that a t-shirt? The UFO community is Satan. Troubled Minds logo with some horns.
Well, I mean, as long as you don't mind ever going to a conference any time in the rest of your life, that might be okay.
They hate me anyway. It's okay.
Okay.
It's fine. I'm not trying to kiss anybody's ass to do this. So I'm also not trying to like shit on people for easy content, by the way. That's the easiest, like lowest brow of entertainment ever, by the way. If you're just like, oh, look at what this dumbass said. Let's do a whole show about what this dumbass said. What if you can spot a dumbass? Why don't you start by just not being a dumbass yourself? And well, there you go. You've improved the world tenfold. Oh boy.
Yeah, but that's I'm hearing echo, but that's really interesting, because just the implications of that. Not even putting anyone down. That's just like, where is that coming from, and what is, what's behind that? Because like you said, it's not as important to just go after anyone, but that's a phrase that's there backwards, possibly in that clip.
Yeah, I think it actually tracks, doesn't it? At least in that. And like, I didn't expect in a short clip for it to sort of manifest, because there's a whole, I mean, you got to admit, too, there's a shit ton of gibberish in this. It's like, well, sounds like I'm speaking the alien language, Dutch, French, Russian, Polish, all mixed together. And I'm like, UFO Satan. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah, the first part of that definitely was mostly, as far as I can still tell, definitely gibberish, but then you get that one phrase in the middle of all that, the Satan community UFO. That's like, okay. Interesting.
Yeah, Matt asked the question, is there a universe where time goes backward? You're in the right place. New York Post. Study claims an anti-universe where time is backwards may exist next to ours. Yes, indeed, sir. Yes, indeed. So maybe this is exactly what we're talking about. And I don't know. This is why we do this, because interesting. Let's play that one more time, James, and see if you can hear anything else regarding this. First, frontways. The UFO community can be extremely toxic to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. All right, and now backward.
Okay. I didn't hear front ways the first time.
Oh, my bad. See, because you said you heard echo, so I turned it off. Thank you. Glad I did the front ways, but you already heard it. Here we go. Let's do one more time. It's super short. That's why I did these in bite-sized pieces, because I wanted to have sort of a control sample in that we did short ones, we did long ones, we did me, we did Joe Biden, we did some other stuff. But here we go. Forward again. We'll go backward. Here you go. The UFO community can be extremely toxic to the point where sometimes I don't even want to deal with it. All right, and here is backward. Holy shit, James. Holy shit, James.
Yeah.
Right, I'm killing your echo. There you go. See, I got a lot of buttons to push. But all right, so anything new there? Because I think I heard Satan community UFO.
Yeah, and in the very beginning, almost sounded like the way in the very beginning there as well.
Okay, all right, here we go. Let's do it again. The way. Oh, I gotta turn you back on. See, I got all these damn buttons to push. This is what you don't have to do when you have a board guy, but I do it all myself. Here we go. That's the way that I'm meeting with. Yeah, this math must serve no, but this gets cost deal mirrors save me UFO. The way. I heard that time. All right, you're safe.
With the way.
With the way, yeah. Oh shit, James. Is there something here?
I'd say so. Yeah, it's just because we keep on finding words.
We keep finding words, exactly. It's not, I don't know. And I think I probably, if you slowed it down by, let's say 25% or, even 10%, 15%, I think maybe there'll be some shit we're missing. This is wild. This is absolutely wild. So back to the Biden thing. We can go back to the Biden thing in a sec. What are your other thoughts here, James? Well, we got you on. You're welcome to stay, of course, but we're taking your phone calls, guys. 702-957-1037. Click the Discord link, troubleminds.org. I'm here with James of Salcedo Paranormal. James in Michigan, good friend of mine. Hop in here and let us know. Give us a call, jump in the Discord. And do you think this is all bullshit, or do you think there's something actually to this? Your thoughts, my friend?
Yeah, I'm going to stay in here now because this is really getting interesting. It was interesting in the beginning anyway, but yeah, no, it's just, it makes me feel like there's something here, and like I said, the more you do this, the more you slow things down, maybe in other like in recordings. I would just wonder about. I definitely agree it should only be done to like public figures, or if you want to do it to yourself, which is funny because I don't even know if I would want to do that to myself. That's the interesting thing. I'm not all that curious to hear any of my speech reversed. Not really. Then again, I can't even listen to myself forward speech, so that's not that much of a surprise.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult. It's like that if you guys have ever had that aversion to hearing your voice recorded and played back, I think it's a natural response. We're supposed to hate ourselves, right? At least the audio of ourselves. It took me a long time to get over it, but I'm like, fuck it, who cares? You know what I mean? Like at some point you're just like, fuck it, who cares? You know what I mean? Like there's so many thousands of hours out there, who fucking cares? Yeah, pretty wild stuff. So yeah, it's okay, James. Don't worry. Let me know. I won't do it to you without your permission, and that goes with everybody. By the way, it's part of the contract here. Like for you to call me you have to trust me that I'm not going to like try and make you look like a fool, okay? And I'm not. I never have been that guy. I'm not going to ever be that guy. So part of that, you guys have to understand. Number one, by the way, Daryl, if you're there, Daryl's still here. Please remind me what part I got to trim out of the podcast for you, because I will. Number two, if you're on the show and you say something, you're like, oh, I wish I didn't say that, let me know and I'll cut it out, right? We wield the edit stick together, and I've always said it's the most powerful thing, because if you say something dumb, right, nobody's perfect. We can trim it out, okay? We can do that. I, by the way, have never, that I can remember, done that to myself. Every dumb fucking thing I've ever said is out there. It's out there. But I'm telling you, for your sake, okay, if you like call in and you're like, I didn't like what I said there, can you just trim that little bit out? I'll do it. It's okay. It just takes me a second, so there's no reason to not. It's part of the trust factor. If you don't trust me, you don't call me. So it's literally in my best interest, in our best interest as a community, for me to back you up. If you call me, I got you, okay? That's the way it goes. James will back me up on that. So many people will back me up on that. I have not been that guy that like wants you to call in and shit on you and hang up for sport. That's not what this is about. That's not what this has ever been about. It will never be about this. If that starts to happen one day, I have been body snatched, because it's not me. You got that, James? You got that, James?
Oh, I got that. Yeah.
All right. I know. You already know. Good. You already know. All right. So I don't know. Other thoughts on this? Let's see. MJ says, Michael, I need to call in on another night about takes on 2 election and Nostradamus prediction. Oh shit. Okay. Cool. No problem. Well, I'm sure we got a prediction show coming up as well, because, well, why the hell not? But okay. So we'll get back to the Joe Biden thing. What are your thoughts on this, guys? Is this real? This reverse speech. We'll get back to Joe Biden in just a second. But what did you hear on the Joe Biden, James, that you heard the first couple times, and then we'll start playing this a little bit more?
Yeah, I definitely heard war, and even World War. Fear, berserk. I mean, that's all I'm thinking of right now. Rat's nest after the one time that said World War. I think that's it as of now. Yeah.
Okay, so let's play it a few more times. So we're talking about this clip from Joe Biden. What he says forward is creepy to begin with, all right? It's pretty like, really? You're just going to say that out loud and it's fine, and you think we're okay with this? But listen what you hear when you hear this in reverse. Reverse. I'm clicking on this, James, so remind me about the echo in just a moment. Here you go. I'm putting this on for you so you can hear it. Let's do it. Let's click this. This is the Joe Biden statement. We're going to play in reverse. Listen to this.
We are at an inflection point, I believe, in the world economy. Not just the world economy, in the world. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations. As one of the top military people said to me in a secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946. And since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people dying, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is a time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it. We've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
Okay, so there's our fearless leader, Joe Biden, slurring through a statement about creating a new world order, a new liberal world order even. So he's not even like saying we're all included, just some of us. so that's creepy enough in and of itself. And he's setting the bar pretty low in that, well, we haven't murdered 60 million people yet, so this is fine. We'll be fine. We're doing okay. No, Joe. Sorry. That's not. No. Okay, now listen to this. Now we heard, again, rat's nest in here. We heard World War, warlord maybe. We heard lots of things. Listen, this is that exact speech in reverse.
Yes. Yeah, Så ser vi nog för det väser går och det man ska lov så snart man ska lov och det fel för ska det är ju nu bad what we really miss and we love you for service now you like me this need like me I heard the Lord when they were going to these pictures get no mouse design so I there in there wasn't a mouth but we love my wall and find that there the Lord were with us so that's a game that's
Okay, I heard the rat's nest that time, James. I heard it. I heard the rat's nest. I heard World War. I heard rat's nest. I heard Enoch a couple times. Is this real or is this not? Anything else you heard, James?
Yeah, actually, the berserk sounded more like reserve.
Okay, berserk or reserve. Okay, all right.
Yeah. Everything else, though, seemed like it was pretty on from before, yeah.
Okay, Chris says no fear and went berserk. Mike MJ says berserk. Bernays says emergency still in Washington at start. Did he say that? APOC says, wow, he's sounding more rough than I remember. Turn on the TV once in a while. It's a shit. It's a disaster. The guy shouldn't be president. Come on, guys. Like, not that the last guy was like the bastion of anything. I'm just saying, like, this dude. Okay, let's go to Jennifer in Colorado. Jennifer in Missouri. Welcome to Troubled Minds. How are you? You're on with Mike and James. Hello.
Hey, I'm good. Hello.
Hello. Good evening. Hello. Good evening. Did you hear something new and interesting in these reverse speeches we've been doing tonight?
No, I was hearing the same thing that a lot of people were mentioning. You know, I heard like mask and I heard just all kinds of things. But one thing I was thinking of that, you know, I wonder if it's got anything to do with, so like I'm saying this right now, but if you repeated exactly what I just said, I don't think that it would have the reverse speech effect the same way. Like if somebody else read the exact same sentence that Biden said, I doubt they would get the same type of, you know, like reverse speech playback. The same with what you said. It has to be something else besides just like the word in reverse. It has to be like there is some kind of message coming through pretty clearly in the reverse speech, as if something is speaking in reverse perfectly clear. It literally doesn't seem like, do you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't seem like,
that's
like
a whole,
if I say drinking water
right,
in reverse, and then you say it too, it won't, but in mine, there was like a weird secret message. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it seems like there's somehow some double speak, like secret. Yeah.
We should set that up, by the way. If you're down for it or other people are down for that, let's do something where we read like just a ridiculous sentence, right? The quick brown fox jumped over a lazy dog, something like that, right? Clearly not that obvious, but we'll all read the same sentence, and then we'll all play it backwards and say just a tone and inflection. Like, well, even though it's the same words, right? That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's a unique signature in your tone or something. It's like it's when you're speaking authentically, accidentally, like when you're accidentally using like a true voice or something of yourself, like you're not trying to, maybe that, or something like that, you know, because there's a secret. It seems like there's a double language and a double voice that's going on in the reverse speech. So it's not just like the word love in reverse is evil, you know, it's not just that, but like other things, you know, like it's like a deeper secret voice that comes through while we're speaking. Like I'm talking right now, but there's something else talking, and maybe it speaks to our unconscious. Like maybe we do hear these type of, maybe we're hearing this conversation, each of us on a subconscious level, a completely different conversation is going on. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you and I are talking to each other right now, but we're saying something completely different. And actually, maybe there's an intelligent conversation going on the subconscious level all the time with each other, and we don't realize it. But in the reverse speech, like if you were to like report like a whole conversation between 3 or 4 different parties, what if their reverse speech is talking to each other or something? And like they're just using the cover of the normal speech. Like what if I'm communicating something completely different to you right now than what I'm actually saying? And you're saying something back to me completely different, and we're talking to each other. All of us are talking to each other. And like when we're using the sound of our voices, we're actually saying something. Do you see what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
Does that sound weird?
No. So in the terms of that, it means that there's constantly, clearly, and always a subconscious communication going on, right, between people. And the craziest part about that is we've talked about the power of the human brain, and you know, we've talked about body language, we've talked about tone and intent and all these other things, and words as spells. So what if the spells of words themselves are not linear forward, they're linear backward. Oh shit.
Yeah, what if we're just pretending that we don't really know like about, what the other, like, what if there's a deep authenticity going on and we really aren't hiding ourselves from each other by what we don't say? Like, what if our subconscious, all of us are, like, you ever talk to somebody and you get a feeling when you're done talking to them, you're like,
Yeah, like that was weird.
Was there communication between the two of you?
Right.
Yeah. What if you're walking away because the true message was in the reverse, like as I'm speaking, there's still another voice coming through, and we're talking. You were talking to that person, and they said something really bizarre, and you did too, and you walk away just being like, "Wow, it's strange," But in fact, yeah, or we're all speaking in like some secret voice to each other, or something. That's what it seems like, because it's not just the simplicity of like the word backwards, like Netgear backwards. If you say that. But if for some reason when I say Netgear, it says something weird like, World War III or something, somehow out of a word that shouldn't say that. So, or Satan UFO, for example, like there's no way that should come out, So I think there's some kind of, I think it's a secret voice message thing going on. That we're all like talking to each other.
Yeah, right.
Kind of secret language.
I wonder. Hey, Jennifer, we have that technology. Yeah. We're about to start running people's shit in reverse with their permission. By the way, I'll never do it without your permission. But we can do this stuff now. So let's see. Yeah. Let's see what the hell's really going on. If this is this is the actual spells as words.
I was like, surely. I was like.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was thinking I was like, well, Mike's, like, people, if they're worried about that, it's like, he's got stuff he's got to do. He's got stuff he's got to do. Going to sit around, like, slowing down our reverse speech.
The hell I'm not. What are you talking about? Hell yes, I am. Hell yes, I'm going to do that shit. Hell yes. If you guys are interested in that, let's do that. Let's set it up. Let's read the same sentences and stuff. Always amazing stuff.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it. We got a couple ideas.
Like for nefarious purposes.
No. Yeah. Oh no. God no. God no. No.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I don't have time for that shit. I'm like, anyway. I knew it. James was actually telling me this instead. This is all your fault, James. Now you know.
I don't think you need to use reverse speech right now to know what I'm thinking there, Mike. Sorry.
Exactly. Great stuff, Jennifer. What else you got for us?
No, that's it. I just wanted to add that in because I think it seems like it. Because, you're not going to get the same thing. Lastly, I'll say it again. You're not going to get the same thing just by, if I say the same thing and then you repeat the same line back. It could, but in a reverse speech scenario, it might be that, the message that comes through is completely different and impossible to have happened almost. So it does seem like there's like we're tapping into, if it's real, which I think it is. I believe in it, but that's just my thing. But I think that, maybe we are always, deeply communicating the truth between each other, and we all know it, but our conscious mind just pretends not to know, so we can play out the play. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we can continue in our roles. Yeah, we can't break the charade because we secretly know the truth of what we're all doing. Because on a subconscious level, we already know, but the show must go on, so to speak, and so we pretend, that we didn't, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Okay, that's it.
That's a show for the future. The cosmic play must go on. Amazing stuff. Jennifer, as always, link in the description. Jennifer has a YouTube channel. Great stuff, Jennifer. Thanks for the call. Thanks for listening. Always a pleasure.
Yep. Bye.
Have a great night. There you go. James, take on that.
Well,
damn it, James.
Great as always.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But, yeah, it makes me wonder if that gets back to what I mentioned earlier, with where it seems like in some of these recordings, the voices make sounds that are not part of the forward message. Like with that one small step for man. That one, there's a K sound or a C sound near the end of that one, the spacewalk thing. But that sound is not in the forward version. One small step for man. There's not a hard C or K anywhere in that. But I do agree it does sound like that in the reverse.
which means what? What the fuck does that mean, James? Help, James! I'm scared.
I wonder if it has something to do with maybe even, I don't know, the energy we give off when we're being recorded could maybe affect the recording in some weird way. I don't know.
I have no idea. I have no freaking idea.
Seem like, yeah. I just can't figure out how there would be sounds there that are, backwards, that are not there forward. That is just, that's breaking my mind right now because I have no idea how that works.
Yeah, same here. All right, let's play some more of this Joe Biden stuff. James, coming up, your echo's on. Remind me to turn it off. Here we go. Joe Biden, this is what he said in reverse. We heard the thing forward a few times. Let's just hear this. We'll play the shorter versions and listen to this. What did Joe Biden actually say?
Yes, yeah, så ser vi nog för det väster och when the knock below the sun him knock below when the field the shells from the area what news you bad look me when it's just and with low you for service now you like me this need like me the hurdle low when they were and these fishers get no mouse design so I get in there one the mouth but we blow my wall and find that the hurdle low war but the still that's a game that's
oh boy. I definitely hear the rat's nest now. I didn't hear that initially. But I hear rat's nest, I hear World War, I hear warlord, I hear necessary, like he almost wants to say necessary, but then stops. I don't know. Anything new there, James? Oh, gonna carry on.
There's that go.
Got it.
Okay. This time it's funny, I thought I heard not funny, but I thought I heard murder in there a couple times.
Only a couple times?
Just a couple times.
Notice what he said in the original clip. He said that we only killed 60 million people, right? That type of thing. Like he didn't say only, but right. He's like basically like I'm putting this emphasis is that he's like, we're doing better than 60 million killed, so the New World Order seems to be going fine. That's my emphasis, not his. Because of course, if it was framed that way, he'd look like an asshole. But well, we know he's not because he clearly is not cognitively right. So I think we can't even judge him in those terms. But it is weird that, again, some of the things you added murder a couple times, maybe. I definitely heard rat's nest. I definitely heard World War, almost necessary. And then he stopped like he wanted to say World War necessary. God. Okay. Yeah. Right. Ronald says, I heard Corn Pop was a bad dude. I didn't hear that. I definitely didn't hear that. All right. Here we go. All right. Now listen to this. Here we go with the echo again, James. I'm going to play a couple more clips. Now this is slowed down. Now this is exactly more Biden stuff. Listen to this. This is the short version of what I heard. Okay. Something like World War, rat's nest, right? So here, play this a couple more times so you can hear it. This is what I heard. Again, like I said, I'm not baiting the audience here, trying to tell you what I heard, and then I'm breaking this down. I let you guys hear it first. Remember, I did this the right way. From the beginning of this, I didn't say, listen for this, guys. I said, listen first a few times. What are we hearing, right? Here we go again. Listen. This is what I heard. Listen. Something to the effect of World War, maybe Warlord, Rat's Nest. Oh, shit. All right, here's more. Here's from what Rohan sent to break this down. This is what he also said in that. Listen to this. Couple more times. Here we go. Now, I don't know exactly. Nukes? Do you hear nukes in there? Is what Rohan heard? Here, play this again. Now you hear it? He said the very first thing he said is nukes. One more time. Here we go. Another one. This is again sent from Rohan. Again, reverse speech. Joe Biden. He said War. Listen to this. Oops.
There's
the one. World War. Nessa Rat's Nest. Listen to this one more time. Holy shit. Oh, holy shit. I don't know. See, that one slowed. This is done properly. We slowed that one down. And are you hearing this? You're hearing the shit I'm hearing. Like I said, go back and listen from the beginning if you're just joining us, because I'm not like setting the jury up to like hear what I heard till the very end, because we're out of time. Go back and listen. I played all these clips before we got to this point. What are we hearing? Is this shit real? APOC says, World War Rat's Nest sketch. MJ says, nukes scientists. Oh, shit. James, your echo should be killed. Oh, God. Yeah. What's going on, James?
After nukes, I thought I heard MAD. Which,
MAD?
If you think of MAD, mutual assured destruction.
Oh, mutually assured destruction. Oh, shit. James just went next level on us. Joe Biden's cognitive ability is... Lily says, all I can say is it puts a pit in my stomach. And I agree. I kind of agree. Oh, shit. I don't know, James.
That's some wild stuff. It really is.
Yeah, right? So are we hearing what we expect to hear and what we want to hear, or is this shit real? Is this shit real?
I wonder if it's a bit of both. I also think it's important too, just to note for people that might kind of get freaked out by this, that's just that one person's views on things. That may not necessarily mean that those things are going to happen.
Yeah, of course. Again, like we're just, again, and don't get me wrong, like I don't know where I stand on this. When I first started tonight and I was listening to myself back when I first figured out how to do the technology shit and of reversing things, I was like, there's nothing here. This is bullshit. This is all bullshit. And then I kept listening and I was like, uh-oh. And then I'm like, wait, I'm going to do Joe Biden. And he just did this thing, and right. I'm like, let's do this one, right? And then I was like, oh, shit. Maybe this isn't as stupid as I thought. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Like, again, per usual, right? I'm supposed to ride the fence here and say, maybe. But I'll tell you this 100%. 100%. When I started this tonight, first started just sort of reversing my own little blurbs, I thought this was all shit. Like 100% shit. No way. And then the more I listened and the longer the sentences, the more I started adding context to the sounds around them, the more I was like, whoa, slow down, Mike. Slow down, Mike. Maybe there's something here. So I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll keep doing this, James. Like, again, I've got this technology. We're going to do this. You want me to break down some of your podcasts, James?
No.
Okay, just checking. I was just asking for a friend. We'll just do them in reverse. No, don't worry, guys. I promise you I will never do this without your permission. Not only that, like Jennifer said, I don't have fucking time. I have to do so much of this type of stuff, the show and all the pre and post processing and all this shit. I just don't have time. There's no like actual I'm coming to get you and figure out what you're really trying to say. It doesn't exist. I promise you. I don't have time for that. Nobody has time for that except for, well, let's say if they pay people to have time for that, then they do. Geez. Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. Yeah, there you go. APOC says, Mike, it's funny how excited you get about this. Yeah. Hey, because I thought it was bullshit and now it's not. No, it's not. I don't know. It seems like maybe it's less bullshit now than it was then. So, yeah, you tell me. All right. About to get the hell out of here, James. What are your final thoughts here, man? Do you think that this is something good, or do you think this is something bullshit? Something in between? Don't worry, I'm not going to break down your podcast. But would you be willing to do something in the future like the bonus show, which wink might happen this weekend, where maybe we sort of read a sentence, like several of us, and then play them back? Would you be willing to do something like that?
Yeah, I could try that. Yeah. Yep, that'd be fine.
Okay. All right. So there you go. If you guys, we got volunteers. We're looking for a bonus show. Maybe this weekend, maybe next. I'll let you know as we go through the week. I'm aiming for this weekend, trying to do some more bonus shows because as much as I work, I feel like I've been slacking because there's a lot of people that have been paying for the show and for extra content, and I just, I've got so much to do. It's been difficult. So I'm trying to get back on that again and get some extra bonus shows out there. And you guys are invited. If you want to be part of that, love to hear your, read a sentence. We'll come up with a sentence. I'll even let somebody else write it. I'm not going to write the sentence. I'm not trying to turn this into a gotcha. I'm trying to let's pseudo-scientifically figure some shit out. So if you guys are into that, let me know. Click the Discord link. Come join. Come hang out. Come say hi to these amazing folks. James, again, is an amazing dude, good friend of mine, and he's more amazing when he's not on the air. He's trying to toe the professional line here and be like, oh, I'm a good podcast guy, which he is. He's a very good podcast guy, and he's getting better by the day. But he's also a lot more fun and funny when you meet him elsewhere. Please do that. troubledminds.org. Click the Discord link. Join his Discord as well. He's got a link in the description down below. Salcedo Paranormal. All the links are there, right, for your Discord and whatnot?
Yeah, they're all. Once you go to that link, all the links for the social medias are all in there. Yeah.
There you go. All right. So we're looking forward to this, looking to do some, now that I can do this. Hey, I had no idea I could do this so easily, but now we can. What's up? Night Stalker says, space in reverse, UFOs in reverse. Find a bunch of clips of the UFO mainstream talking or the government talking UFOs. Exactly. See? Now you're thinking that's exactly what I'm thinking. Let's hear what Mike Pompeo has to say about UFOs. Or what about Barack Obama when he was on that show talking to UFOs about, who was it? James Corden or whatever that guy's name is. There's a lot of that, right? What about what Lou Elizondo thinks about UFOs? Interesting. We got a whole can of worms coming up here. So there it is. All right, James, let it rip. What do we got as we finish, man? Are you more or less sold on this? I'm more sold, but you can be you, of course.
Yeah. No, I am more as well. Just the more we replay these, the more it seems to come out, and I think that's an interesting thing.
And interesting things is what Troubled Minds is all about. All right, so I do have to run off to the men's room, so let's wrap this. Do follow James, and you guys know this drill. If you want to be part of the show, you got to wait till tomorrow. James, your echo's on, but final thought, my friend. I'm playing some music. Let's get GTF out of here.
Well, I think words are power, and speech is power, and apparently it has even more power than we know.
There it is. Spells are spells. And if you spell words, what happens when you spell them backward? I have no damn idea, but it's an idea to explore. If you're interested in this and the rest of these things, come join the Discord. troubleminds.org. Click the Discord link. Come visit James and his Discord as well. I'm on there. Lots of these amazing folks are also on there as well. Come say hi. Come be social. Come find out that these people are more amazing than just a podcast feed. And there we go. So if you want to help the show, spread the word. Word of mouth beats algorithms. If you want to be on the show, you're welcome to. troubledmindsradio@gmail. If you don't like the Discord, no problem at all. And if you want to support the show, Rockfin, you could sub up there. Links in the description. Patreon, link in the description. More bonus shows coming. And Twitch, if you want to sub up on Twitch, lots of good ways to do that. If you don't want to spend any money, but you do love the show, listen to the podcast feed. It's monetized. There's ads in there. Sorry about the ads. You got to monetize the content some way. And listen to a bunch of the old shows. There's some amazing shows back there. There's some gold that we did 6 weeks ago, or last week, or 2 weeks ago. It's all back there. Go dig into that podcast feed. You can find it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to your podcast. And I guarantee you, there's going to be something there that seems interesting to you. All right, go listen to that old shit. If you guys just found us this year, there's years of content. 4 years of Troubled Minds the first week of April. Can you believe that shit? Also, by the way, looking for some ideas for a 4-year anniversary show the first week of April. Any ideas? Anybody want to be part of that? I'd love to have you. 702-957-1037. Leave me a voicemail. Click the Discord link. troublemindsradio@gmail. Voicemail is persistent. If you dial that number, you can leave me a message. Let's get the fuck out of here, James.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it. I think that kind of nails it down. Night Stalker says Sasquatch howls backwards is a genius idea, and yeah, somebody said that back in the chat. Who said that? Let's cite it. Where is Axuki Love said Sasquatch backwards. And James said it. The other famous James, play a Sasquatch howl backwards. Maybe they're actually talking to us. All right, maybe. Well, again, like I said, this is Jennifer's fault and Rohan's fault. You've created a monster. I'm now going to be the next reverse speech guru, because why the fuck not? All right, let's get the hell out of here. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific, Troubled Minds coming at you. The bad news is we're done. The good news is, God willing, we've got tomorrow. That one goes out to Jay in New York, a good friend of mine, good friend of ours. And as we finish, it goes exactly like this. You want to do it, James?
Yeah. Be sure. Be strong. Be true.
Thank you for listening. From our troubled minds to yours, have a great night. Thanks, James. Fantastic.